Radio. But again, CWC and Casper, the battle for second place in Region 9 coming your way. Pregame around 4:10. Game time around 4:30 from Rustler Gymnasium. Stay tuned to 88.1.
Rustler Radio is supported by Gales Carpet One in Riverton, featuring a remodeled showroom and a room-by-room flooring system that allows you to see exactly what's available. Gales Carpet One has many in-stock products, meaning cash and carry options are available with no back orders. Gales Carpet One also offers walk-in showers and custom rug binding services to fit your size and material needs. They are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 in downtown Riverton and online at galescarpet1riverton.com.
An all-black town in Wyoming? Empire, located just over the Nebraska border northeast of Torrington, was founded in 1908 by former slaves seeking to build a self-sufficient community. This followed the over 25,000 freed slaves who homesteaded in Kansas after the Civil War, known as the Exodusters. The town of Nicodemus, Kansas is a National Historic Site. It was a symbol of the African-American capacity for self-governance and economic enterprise, wrote historian Quinter Taylor. Empire, like many of the Kansas settlements, fell victim to drought, poor agricultural returns, and racial hostility from neighbors. It virtually ceased to exist within 20 years. This moment in Black history is brought to you by Central Wyoming College.
88.1 Rustler Radio is a student-operated station on the campus of Central Wyoming College. This radio station is a vital instructional tool to help students learn the basics of radio broadcasting. Every reasonable effort has been made by instructors to ensure that the information and entertainment provided on the station is accurate and in good taste. The views expressed on air by student talent, guests, or listeners are not to be construed as those of Rustler Radio, Central Wyoming College, or its employees. Comments or inquiries about student radio at Central Wyoming College may be directed to the station manager, John Gabrielson, at 855-2121. Thanks for listening to 88.1.
Evergreen, he controls me.
creeping up on 4 o'clock, and normally this would be the start time for the men's game taking on Casper College. However, we've had a delay as the officials had to be rerouted due to an incident on I-80, so they had to find a different path to Riverton, and they have apparently been doing that and should be here momentarily. They have tentatively planned for the game to start at 4:30 this afternoon. I will double check with Athletic Director Steve Barlow here in a few minutes, and then I'll give you more updates on 88.1 as we go and talk about a pregame. Tentatively starting our pregame at around 4:10 here this afternoon, which is another 12 minutes from right now on the delay for CWC basketball taking on the Casper College Thunderbirds. Plenty of room for you here yet at Rustler Gymnasium. If you are inclined to come on up, check out the battle for second place in Region 9 between a couple of teams on hot streaks right now. Casper has won 6 in a row. Central has won 4 in a row. Central won by 2 at Casper. They'll look for a little revenge here today. We'll get that pregame for you here in about 10, 12 minutes from right now and get you ready for some basketball. But again, tentatively starting CWC men's basketball at 4:30 this afternoon here on 88.1 and the Rustler Athletics YouTube page.
CWC FM, Riverton.
Casper. And on the unfortunate side of the equation right now on the update is, unfortunately, that there is no update. Head Athletic Director Steve Barlow and Head Coach Brad Schmidt have not heard back from the officials or the assigner that is the one that assigns officials, trying to get an update on whether or not they are close, if they're en route. We're waiting on officials that had to be rerouted due to an I-80 accident. And Mr. Barlow is sending, and sounds like the officials may be now arriving at Rustler Gymnasium at 4:30. So instead of the game now starting at 4:30, it sounds like the officials are arriving closer to 4:30. So again,
it's kind of like a twilight double hitter in baseball.
We're in a holding pattern right now for a much anticipated battle for the second place in Region 9 Conference. The women were beaten earlier by 22nd ranked Casper 81-62. Western Wyoming defeated Northwest women 73-65. Eastern Wyoming defeated Gillette women 73-53. So essentially what it is the playoffs start now for the ladies. If they do not beat Gillette on Thursday, their season is over. If they do manage to beat Gillette, then it looks like, unless Gillette comes and beats them, well, and I think Central owns the tiebreaker after that, but if they do, they'll get a play-in game, but most likely have to go back to Casper the week after. But again, they'll play Gillette on Thursday. So once again, we are looking at the officials maybe now arriving at about 4:30, so this game maybe now pushing back to about 4:45-ish, plus or minus. We'll try to keep you apprised as we are apprised of information here at Rustler Radio. And if you're in fact watching on the live stream, you know why we are delayed at the moment, and we'll try to get you everything coming your way to keep you up to date. I've got bubbles on the text right now, so we'll wait and see what that text comes in and looks like before we get things cranking again as far as what the update looks like. And the bubbles have disappeared, and we'll try to see, in fact, what the update is going to be. And there is essentially no update at this point right now. So once again, scoreboard showing that we're going to start this game in 18 minutes. If you're watching on rustlerathletics.com, that is probably not going to be the case. That countdown may be closer to when the officials may arrive at the venue here. So again, in a holding pattern, waiting on officials to get this thing started between Casper College and Central Wyoming College. I've set our pregame show back now to 4:20 in the afternoon, so in about 7 minutes, hopefully we'll get our pregame going. If I get more updates, I will definitely pass those along to you, as once again, we're in a holding pattern waiting for CWC and Casper College from Rustler Gymnasium.
Danger.
RustlerAthletics.com, and getting ready for Central versus Casper College. And again, have not received an update where I think we're about to get one here from the PA, and Steve Barlow has a microphone in his hand, and if that is in fact the case, the team, Central's team, is huddled up on the free throw line, and Casper's still warming up. They've been kind of just out having a dunk contest and everything else here just a moment ago. And like I said, Steve Barlow has the microphone in his hand and waiting to see when we can kick off our pregame show here. Our Porter's pregame show, still walking around behind there. And so I'm going to tell you this, we're going to do our pregame show in about 3 minutes. So we'll take a quick break, and then, well, we're going to text and see what goes on. This is live radio, Joel Kindle, by the way. But this is a big game between these two.
Yeah.
The gym's starting to fill up a little bit more now here as we go.
Well, it's sophomore night on top of everything else,
right,
too. So you saw some, I noticed a number of the parents of our women's team were here. In fact, including the Australian one, so I got to visit with.
Yeah, their final home game of the regular season. And like I said, for the ladies, it's their final their playoffs begin Thursday. If they don't beat Gillette Thursday, they don't get a play-in game. If they do beat Gillette, then they will most likely win the tiebreaker and get the challenge game. CWC, half of their team.
10 minutes out. We're going to take this time to recognize our sophomores who have been with us the last couple of years. So we'll turn the mic over to Coach Schmidt and we'll celebrate with them.
So now you're here. We'll do our sophomore recognition at this point of the broadcast. And here's Brad Schmidt.
I talk really loud. Well, first off, I want to thank you guys for all coming to the game today and the support we've had this season. And it's a good time to just step back and reward our guys who've spent the year committed to each other, committed to us, committed to CWC. The first guy that's going to come out is Bradley Beeman. He's been my last guy I saw coming into this season. Yeah, you can come out, B. He played for Coach Rafferty. So Beeman was a weird story. I got a call from Coach Rafferty, who actually used to coach here. This was probably late July, and Beeman was still looking for a place to play. He already has his associate's degree through Midland. So he's basically here just taking a bunch of film classes and hooping with all of his teammates. They've nicknamed him Unk because he's a little bit older than some of the other guys. And he's been an awesome teammate. He's been awesome in practice. He's mature, and he's had a really good game on Thursday, and hopefully
this
we can bring
is Rustler Media, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com.
For every one of these guys, we're going to give them 2 claps on 2, okay? 1, 2. We got to be loud for the next guy. All right, the next guy coming out, hometown hero, Lucas Engel.
Sheets.
You know, and I'm talking with Brad, he really likes this group.
Yes.
So Engel obviously grew up here at Riverton, played at Riverton High School. Been 2 years with us, and I can't say enough about this guy. He is the best teammate in the world. If anybody notices, he leaves layup lines first. Stands right over there and gives everybody a high five as they come to the bench. He did it last year when he wasn't playing as much as he was this year. He's maintained it this year, and he embodies our program. He embodies his teammates, and I love the kid to death, and I look forward to seeing what he does the rest of his career here. So we'll give him 2 claps on 2. 1, 2. Much better. All right, next up, Lawrence Dela Cruz.
Assistant coach Mike Newman, who is also our CWC golf coach, meeting them first.
So Lawrence
Mr.
is
Paxton on the sideline, by the way.
So you might not know this. He's probably the smartest junior college basketball player in the country. He takes classes that I've had nobody else even remotely come close to taking. I can barely even pronounce his classes, half of them. But that work ethic that he exemplifies with his academics, he does the same with basketball. Him and Jaden Warren, another guy that I'm going to talk about here in a second, are basically in the gym between 8 and 9 every single day. They're incredibly disciplined with their habits, and it shows. Also with Cruz, he's a dunk contest legend, which most people know that are in this program. He is going to finish his career as the top 5 in steals in his end of the season, and he is a stud. So let's give Lawrence 2 claps. 1, 2. Next up, Julian Roberts.
Nickname Juice. Phoenix, Arizona, Bella Vista Prep. Along with the next player that will come out as well, and Jaden Warren. Sophomore recognition continuing here at Central.
So as you heard in the background,
I've had more
his nickname's
conversations
Juice.
with him than any other player on this
my
team.
My 5-year-old now calls him Juicy. So that's fun nicknames he's picked up since being here, along with the pretty female to his left. who's a volleyball player for us.
Emily Depew.
Julian is going to finish his career here with quite a few accolades. He's going to finish probably top 10 in scoring. He's going to finish top 5 in rebounding. He's second in career blocks and has a chance to break it, hopefully, if we can play another 4, 5, 6 games. And he has the second highest single season for blocks as well. The cool thing about Julian for me is I saw him when he was not the player he is today, and I believed in him and I knew what he could do, and he has surpassed any expectations I had of him, and I think of himself, and he's going to continue his career at the 4-year level at some school, and they're going to be happy to have him. So let's give Julian 2 claps. 1, 2.
You know, I think he'll play on
Last
probably in a different
up,
position
Jaden
like before.
Warren.
Kind of hear the voice cracking in Brad Schmidt, who wears his emotions on his sleeve.
I thought that was the mic, but hey.
you can hear it in his voice as well. You'll hear the pregame coming up where he does break down at the very end of it, talking about his sophomores in the pregame interview.
And you know, Jaden has always interviewed very well with us, by the way.
Yes, he has. Coach just with a huge deep breath. And
So
here
the last
comes.
2 years we've had a lot of success in this program. And a lot of it pertains to Aiden. He was a kid I saw a couple years ago and started recruiting him, and we just instantly hit it off with our relationship. And anybody that's watched us play, sometimes I get questioned, you know, hey, why does Warren play? Why does Warren play? Anybody that's coached college basketball like I have understands why Jaden plays. He's completely changed our program. He's got the most high character, high integrity, awesome in the classroom. He does anything and everything for his teammates, for me, for the school, and he embodies what it means to be a college student athlete. And I can't say enough about him without getting too emotional. I got to coach a game here, so we're going to give Jaden 2 claps on 2. 1, 2. And now we're going to give all these sophomores 2 claps on 2. 1, 2. Come here, let's get a picture. Let's get a picture. You guys get in the middle, and then I'll flank aside and coach.
Head coach Brad Schmidt on the sophomores here at CWC. And again, we're hoping that our officials are close to arriving at the venue to be able to get this game started here before too long. Lawrence De La Cruz, Julian Roberts, Lucas Engel, Bradley Beeman, Jaden Warren. 4 of them were all here last year. Beeman joining them, as you heard Coach Schmidt say.
And he made 2 big baskets in their last game.
Yes, and hugs all around underneath the basket for these kids. And as Coach said, he's don't want to get too emotional because he's got a game to play. Now Steve Barlow will visit.
We'll let them warm up another 10 minutes, and hopefully the officials will be here.
With that, we're going to head into our pregame interview with head coach Brad Schmidt, and if we need to, we'll kill time after that. But this is how the pregame went. This is the Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame show from Rustler Media, the Thunderbirds of Casper, the Rustlers of CWC.
This is Rustler basketball.
One-on-one, right-hand hook is good, and the Rustlers have their first lead on the 5th-ranked team in the country. Driving Marbury kicks it out. Jaden Warren high, arcing triple is good. De La Cruz, though, in the corner for 3 is good.
Now for the Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame, here's John Gabrielson with men's head coach Brad Schmidt.
Talked with Jaden and Sam after the game, and I think the resounding theme is, again, how the team does things. Jaden's offensive rebound and a putback, and then his defensive rebound that gets tied up and everything. And that just epitomized, I think, the team effort, even though, Sam scores 37, but it's everybody that played that contributed in the win on Thursday night.
It's everybody. Since we've gone on this little winning spurt here, it's, you brought up Sal. Sal's had a couple, good moments in the last couple games, and then last night he didn't get anything done, but then Beeman comes off the bench and provides a huge spark, especially in the first half when Solomon wasn't playing great. So that, it's just it's what I've always embodied since I've been the coach. And we talk about it, and it's we. It's we. There's no I, especially this time of year. Early in the year, I think there's some I. You're trying to figure out playing time, and you're trying to get the right mix of guys on the court. But since Christmas, we've had these 10 guys, and they've all played at different times, and they have just really come together. We've been really resilient, and this time of year, it's all about winning. It doesn't matter who gets it done and how it gets done. It's just collectively we gotta win.
Two things about that game. You got down 14. You got up 14. Deja vu, 10 minutes left. It's a 10-point game. It fell apart down there, did not on Thursday night against Western. What happened?
It did it. I was on the bench, John. I was well aware of it. I was telling the guys, hey, this is exactly where we were at in Rock Springs. We're up 10 with 10 and a half to go. And I was looking at the clock. I think it was like 9:05 on the time, and we're only up 3. It was just eerie to what was going on when we were in Rock Springs. But the difference was this time the guys didn't cave. When we were in Rock Springs, we hit a panic wall, and last night we didn't. The guys came together. They continued to make plays. I pulled Roberts with about 3.5 left. I was just kind of upset with how he was playing a little bit, and put in Engel, and Engel made some monster plays down the stretch for us, just with some physicality. He got vertical on a tough layup and got the rebound and got fouled. So it's been a lot of fun being around the guys, and hopefully we can keep it rolling.
You had talked about redemption with Northwest and Western, and you got to think Casper's looking for the same thing coming in here today.
Definitely. They're on a 7-game winning streak. They get beat by us the opening game out of region, and then they lose at Gillette, and since then they've won 7 in a row. So they're riding high right now. We were the only team to beat them in Casper, and I'm sure they want to get revenge from us. But we've proven this is a tough place to play too. We're 4-1 at home in region. We're, I think, 6-1 since Christmas at home. So, we got some good stuff going on here, and hopefully we can send our sophomores out with a winning performance.
Much like your team, they kind of do the same thing, Bashir, LJ. I mean, there's different kids, different nights. X's and O's, what has to happen to get the W today? We
got to cut the head off the snake, and that's Bashir and Robinson, basically. Those two guards, they're both averaging, about, I think Bashir's around 16 in league, and Robinson's around 20, and they're just high-volume shooters, efficient from the three-point line. So we got to do a really good job on both of those guys. And then, we just got to take care of the basketball because they run a press similar to ours. They get a little bit more aggressive in it. But we've been elite at taking care of the basketball. That's been a big separator in some of our recent wins. It's just, we don't turn the ball over at all. I mean, even if you were looking at a 4-year program, we don't turn the ball over much. But for JUCO, it's pretty obscene. So we got to take care of the ball, and we got to protect the three-point line, I would say, are two big things.
Illness, injuries, staying away?
We're all good. Everybody's healthy and ready to go.
I would be remiss if I didn't say something to let you say something about your 5 sophomores.
Yeah, this has been it's a very diverse group in the fact that, Beeman's only spent this year with us, but he's very mature. The returners and even the first-year guys have nicknamed him Unk as an older guy. And then the other 4 guys are been pillars of what we've done the last 2 years. And Jaden is definitely the spark plug. He was the guy I started recruiting early, and it wasn't because of his basketball abilities. It was just the impact I knew he could make on this program and the people that he interacts with. And I think anybody that's been around him has seen that.
Well, he's recruited a couple of your other players pretty much, too.
Yeah, and then I was in love with Roberts. I saw his potential. I saw his skill set. I saw what he was able to do when no one else really did. And so that was kind of a package deal with Warren. So those 2 guys have been amazing. And then, Dela Cruz fell into my lap. He was at a North Dakota elite camp, and I got him from my previous boss, Coach Stevens. And, Lawrence is a 3.9 student taking high-level engineering courses, and has been a really consistent player for us for the last 2 seasons. And then the one guy has seen a ton of growth in his local product is Engel. And one guy I'm just so proud of. He's probably the best teammate you could ever possibly have. If anybody notices, he makes sure he's the first guy out of warm-ups to give everybody a high five as they come to the bench. And just does a lot of good stuff. So it's going to be an emotional day.
Yeah, it always is. Appreciate the interview, and best of luck. And we'll talk with a couple of them when it's over.
Sounds good, John.
Head coach Brad Schmidt, stay with us. Your starting lineups and the battle for second place in Region 9 North, Central, and Casper after this on Rustler Media.
Winter driving in Wyoming requires a light touch and a cautious approach. This is Cody Beers with WYDOT. Think about these winter driving tips. It takes extra time to slow down or stop on slick roads. Try to avoid using your cruise control when road conditions are slick. Drive at appropriate speeds in the winter. Are you in that big of a hurry? If you encounter poor visibility, such as a ground blizzard or snowstorm, slow down. Slow down for your safety and mine. If you don't have to go, don't. And please, buckle up.
This broadcast comes to you in part by Fremont Therapy. They offer physical, occupational, and sports therapy in Lander, Riverton, Rollins, and Green River, Wyoming. They are the scoreboard sponsor for tonight's game and can be found online at FremontTherapyGroup.com.
Welcome you back to Rustler Gymnasium. And good news, bad news on sophomore recognition is we were hoping to get underway at about 4:30. We're already at 4:37. And good news is we've got our sophomore recognition done. We've got the coach interview done. Bad news is during that interview, while it was playing, I had pre-recorded it. I went and looked for the officials in their locker room and out back where they park and have not seen them yet. So we're going to hope that they are here sooner than later. And then
that's some investigative reporting on your part.
You kind of got to give them warm-up time as well. They're just not going to pile out of a car after driving for 5-6 hours.
I hope so.
And referee, they got to stretch themselves out and get themselves a little bit prepared as well. But this is an anticipated matchup right here. Central has taken care of business in the last 4 games to get them into a position here. Casper beating...
And so is Casper.
Yeah, absolutely. Casper beating Gillette has kind of done the same thing. Casper comes in 19-8, 7-2 in Region 9, a game ahead of Central at 7-3 in Region 9. Central is 16-12, and they've won 4 in a row after being 500 and then going down. And a big turning point was there was some inner turmoil along the
friction. Let's call it
team,
that. Leave it at that.
And that got resolved on a Wednesday afternoon. They went and beat Eastern Wyoming, then had a kind of a family pizza night afterwards, and it's been a much different team, and they're 3-0, adding to the 4, and that's what they've done since then.
And on top of that, it's a different team than earlier this year. There's been some attrition. So
yes, absolutely. Central won the first time around at Casper, 79-77. And it's weird to think, though, that Casper has won 12 of the last 14 in this series. And there have been some very close games, and then there have been some pretty lopsided games in this series as well. Biggest Casper win was 34. Biggest Central win, 34. Casper scored 118 in one time, was their most. Central's most that they've ever scored was 100. Last time they played 79-77. And
it's different, too, with the new head coach at Casper College. So he's not really been involved in, this type of a rivalry, which I do think it's a rivalry. But then again, I think everybody that plays Casper College sees it as a rivalry.
Right. They've kind of been that
the bell cow.
There you go. I was going to go there exactly. Tom Parks is in his first year as the head coach of the Thunderbirds. He comes via Cheyenne Central High School, but then he also coached last year in Florida. And he brought a couple of players with him, as a matter of fact, that have come and transferred with him from Florida as well.
That's a long drive. You need company.
Yeah, and one of his players is Nate Talich from Cheyenne Central, and he said, well, Nate broke most of all my records at Central, so I figured I better recruit him. And Nate is now on the roster for Casper College. He is injured, though. He's had a shoulder injury, so Nate Talich not playing.
Was that the last Tag Lane team then?
No, golly, no. He was Cates, and then Mike Jackson is who Tom Parks played for.
I mean as far as the Talich kid.
Yes, because Kevin, who is there now? The one that coached at Lander, and Jim Schaefer, yes.
Between the two of us, we know some stuff.
Yeah, I believe Nate did play for Tag Lane on the Tags last season as the head coach there at
won a state championship, I believe.
Coach Tom Parks played for Coach Cates and Mike Jackson in the Cheyenne Central era there after Kevin McLeod was there as well as we run through the
Riverton connection there. Kevin McLeod from Riverton.
Yeah, they've put up 13 minutes on the game clock now, so your Porter's pregame show going to extend a little bit. And who can extend more than you and I about useless information and talking about stuff? So you want to talk about, we'll take a break. Got to get some of these sponsors in. We'll come back. This is your Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame show. Casper and Central, and more stats and a look at the game coming up right after this.
Bailey Enterprises is a supporter of CWC athletic broadcasts. Bailey's operates Pit Stop Travel Centers, Bailey Tire and Auto Service, Bailey Oil Company, Speedway Cafe, Evergreen Wholesale, and Central Wyoming Transportation. All can be found online at BaileyTire.com. Stick around for Bailey's postgame show after the game.
County10.com supports this Rustler radio broadcast. At County 10, their mission is to connect the communities that make up Fremont County. Whether you're looking for updated community news, the local events calendar, up-to-date job listings, the details about new businesses in town, the Student of the Week spotlight, or just want to watch local athletic events, County10.com is working to keep Fremont County communities connected.
Rustler Athletics helps foster academic achievement, leadership, community engagement, and pride. The Rustler Athletics mission is to help student athletes compete at the highest level in their chosen sport and help them build a foundation for a successful life after competition. A $100 donation to the Rustler 500 reverse raffle not only gets you a chance of winning part of $15,000, but also helps make a difference in the lives of CWC student athletes. The last ticket selected will win $10,000, but all money raised helps our athletes win. Check RustlerAthletics.com for details. And thanks for helping out, Rustler Nation.
This is the Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame show brought to you by Porter's MVS, our halftime show, Buckle Up for Life Wyoming, and also our postgame show, Bailey Enterprises, our scoreboard, Fremont Chevy. A couple of other games going on in Wyoming Region 9 basketball right now. Gillette leading Eastern Wyoming 39-21. That's not much of a surprise, TBH. 40-21 is the score now. Northwest, though, is leading Western. They have 6 minutes left to play in the first half, 31-22. And as you look at the North standings, Northwest is 3-7, Western is 3-6, and I think that would put Northwest a game ahead, which would mean Western would come back and play. Central just defeating.
I was asking that, if you recall, at our last game.
Just defeated Western here on Thursday night.
They're a dangerous team.
Very. And Micah Pierce battling a hip injury, I did ascertain after the fact. So not a flu and cold thing, but a hip injury on behalf of Micah Pierce, who did not play till the second half of that basketball game. But right now, Northwest is out in front of Western, 31-22, as those two games will be well concluded by the time that we get this one going here. So what is Casper College all about at 7-2 right now? Well, it's about Bashir and Robinson. They're averaging 18 points a game each. They're second and fourth leading scorers in Region 9. Bashir is the third best three-pointer in the region, behind King Solomon and Sam Marbury of Central Wyoming. Josh E.J. is number one in Region 9 field goal percentage. He's the second best rebounder in the region, behind the 6'1" Star Valley Brave of Coulter Merritt of Northwest College.
The leaper.
Casper averaging 90 points a game, Central averaging 84. Casper scores 90, gives up 80. Central scores 84, gives up 81. So we could see an up and down game between the two teams, averaging 90 and 84 points per basketball game. And
it wasn't that highest scoring game when they played the first time.
Yeah, 79-77, definitely. And then you talk about, I talked with Coach Parks a little bit this morning via telephone, and he loves these kids. He said they're great kids. They're from so many diverse, different backgrounds. Windsor, Canada, Switzerland. One came from Somalia/Omaha, Nebraska. Ethan Connery is from Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, but went to the LeBron James Academy and is an ambassador of what he does there in Ohio. And Cheyenne, Wyoming, West Palm Beach, Florida, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Andrea Maric. And He just said for being so diverse, they are so close and so cohesive, and I think that's why they're right now 7-2 in Region 9 play, playing well.
I think if we had more players, we'd be more diverse. And we're pretty diverse as it is.
Exactly.
But we just don't have that many players to be that diverse with.
On the central side of this equation, you've got Sam Marbury putting his name, I think he and Jaden Witterwatts of Gillette right now kind of the two front runners for player of the year as far as that goes. But it's hard to deny what Sam Marbury has done in league play.
The coach says he's not seen anybody do what he's done in league play since he's been here.
27 a game he's averaging in league play with 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 42% from 3, 80% from the free throw line. And then he's just been all over the place, scoring double digits in every conference game. He scored over 20 in 8 of the 10 conference games. He scored over 30 in 4 of them, and he scored 42 once. He has 37 his last time out. Those are the number 1 and number 2 scoring outputs in a single game.
And these may be his 2 biggest games of the year. We'll see what he does tonight against Gillette.
On top of that, he's 24 points shy of cracking the top 5 single-season scoring all time. And he missed 6 or 7 games with a concussion earlier in the season. So even at as average of 19 a game outside of conference and including conference, you add in another 100 and some points, and he is nearing the single season scoring record for Central Wyoming College of the modern day. So very, very accomplished player, one Sam Marbury out there for CWC. I wrote
It'd be very interesting to see what he does next year, because there are colleges that are looking at him already.
Right.
And those numbers certainly bring attention to you.
And Coach Parks also mentioned the same about Abdul Bashir out of Omaha, Nebraska. He's getting some D1 looks as well right now for him. You know, one thing I mentioned about Jaden Warren that Coach wanted me to give him those history notes of the guys that is sophomores, and he talked about them. And I don't know, it's not a stat that gets kept, but Jaden Warren has to be top 3 of guys taking charges for Central Wyoming College over the years.
I think the 2 coaches conferring at half court, and they've been doing that for some time, by the way.
Davion Pearson, I think, might be one, and James Woods that took a lot of charges in my mind as well. But Jaden Warren does a lot of that for his basketball team. I've got confirmation that the refs are in the building, and so we're hopefully getting ready to get things started as the refs have arrived. And we're just now waiting to see them and get this one started. They have 5:15 on the clock here today. So we'll give you one more timeout. I believe we'll probably have another national anthem coming your way. This one, though, Amanda, I'm not geared to put on the air, so we'll have to head to break for radio on that side. But we'll come back. We'll break this one down a little bit more, X's and O's, and what's on the whiteboard to get things going here today for these 2 teams to get the win. This is your Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame show, brought to you by Porter's MVS on Federal and Sunset in Riverton.
Rustler Sports On Air are brought to you in part by Porter's Supply of Riverton, offering grills, spas, fire pits, gas stoves, wood-burning stoves, and Green Mountain pellets. They are located at 750 East Sunset Drive in Riverton. Details can be found online at portersmvs.com. Thanks to Porter's Supply for the sponsorship of tonight's pregame show.
A Big Win sponsor of the Rustler Athletic Booster Club is Health Source Chiropractic of Riverton, restoring health through the relentless pursuit of exceptional care. They offer chiropractic care and exercise therapy for everyone. Services include spinal decompression for degenerative or bulging discs without surgery and custom orthotics. They also have health products and nutritional supplements. See them at 910 North 8th West in Riverton or online at healthsourcechiro.com/Riverton.
Want to learn about geospatial applications of unmanned aerial vehicles? You know, a drone? CWC will host a 2-credit course on drones with a combination of outside fieldwork and indoor geospatial data analysis. The course meets on 3 Fridays and Saturdays in late May and early June at the Alpine Science Institute and the Lander Center. More is found at cwc.edu or contact the CWC Lander Center for your course on drones.
Back to the Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame show. And like I said, it's Bashir and it's Robinson, and that is what Coach Schmidt said. We've got to cut the head off the snake. And
they're both guards, and one leads them in rebounding, too, by the way.
Yeah, and then they've got a great shot blocker in EJ. He's in the tops of their all-time stats of blocks for what he does. And
he's I guess he is their leading rebounder. My mistake, by the way.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how, who Jaden Warren defends, because Jaden, one of your best defenders for Central, will he take Bashir? Will he take Robinson?
And not get in foul trouble.
Right, and somebody else is going to have to do the other one. And I think if you're Central, it's going to be do what got you here, and that is the team aspect. Big shots from Sal Dugan-Moroboto, big shots from Tay Hollins, Sam doing what Sam does, Lawrence De La Cruz being the Lawrence De La Cruz of the last 3 games, where he has scored 19, 19, 14, and 12 in the last 4, and using his defense to spark his offense and see how that they can go. And then a lot of it, I think, comes down to just the rebounding situation of this, as Central cannot be dominated on the glass today and expect to come out on top of this basketball game.
A very athletic team, obviously, in Casper College.
Getting set for the Thunderbirds and the Rustlers. 7-2, 6 wins in a row for Casper. 7-3, 4 wins in a row for CWC. Other scores, Gillette doubling up right now on Eastern Wyoming. It's 57-28. Almost got them doubled up. And then it is Northwest with an 11-point lead.
Doubled up.
Well, their scoreboard changes right now. Now it says 53-28. Their scoreboard reads the score
and undoubled.
Puts what they think is the score up there. Northwest is leading Western Wyoming right now by 11 with 2:20 left. However, we know that's a different thing, because Western led by 14 here, then didn't lead by 14 here on Thursday, as the two teams have broken their respective huddles, still have not yet seen the officials. And you wonder how this affects the officials, because they have a pregame just as if a player does. They, a lot of times we'll see them kind of on the treadmill in the fitness center right here before, and
I'm hoping they're not Carson
stretching out and things, and they get to come out and watch the teams a lot before, but they're not going to get to do that today, as the officials have not made their way to the playing surface as of yet, with the final 30 seconds ticking off of the pregame warm-ups. This is your Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame. I'm John Gabrielson. That's Joel Kindle. Thanks to Julian Delgadillo and Noah Marshall. They are our camera people. Andrew Belongo is our student director out of the direction of Amanda Nikoloff in the new media program here at Central Wyoming College. I think the refs will probably get a pretty good round of applause,
or booed,
when they get here to get this one going, as the buzzer has sounded. And I do not see our normal house singer of the national anthem poised to do that. So with that said, we're probably not going to get another national anthem, since we are already 54 minutes delayed from when this game should have started. And I imagine the game might have even started. We started 10 minutes early the last 2 home games.
I'm missing one of those unpredictable Hallmark movies.
CWC and Casper College.
Before we go on, again, gratitude to the gals who came and played a very good first half and played a much improved game. I was talking to a couple of players that said, it doesn't feel good when you lose, but you got to look at the big picture. What you did the first time when you played this team, and to what you did today.
Maybe more so what you didn't do in the first time, as they were beaten.
I'm pushing the positive, man.
Beaten soundly that first time, and then came back and were in the game. 6 ties, 6 lead changes.
And the start of the third quarter again, as I thought it might, did sort of tell the tale.
Next up for Central, they will be at Gillette on Thursday, taking on the Pronghorns, who have a 21-point lead at halftime right now on the Eastern Wyoming Lancers. As this game getting ready to get started, they're already at halftime. And Northwest leading Western 38-30 right now. Casper has 2 games remaining after this, and that will be on the road at Eastern and at Laramie County Community College. Western has all of their final games on the road after they played, well, their last game was here, then they go to Northwest, and they're on the road next week as well. And then I think Gillette ends at home. Their last 3 or 4 games for Gillette was at home.
That's interesting because people are always wondering how would they be on the road, but yet now they're finishing off at home.
Well, and then you think, the non-league schedule is made up by Region 9, and you thought there would be a little more, I guess, parity of not playing your last 4 games on the road in conference play and things of that nature. But, again, still awaiting the arrival of the officials here at Central Wyoming College. And what this game does, as you look at the standings right now, Casper at 7-2, Central at 7-3. Casper has 2 games left after today. Central has 1. And if Central wants any part of number 1 seed or number 2 seed, they have to win tonight and win on Thursday at front-running Gillette.
And I think really only the number 1 seed has a game that I think they would be a big favorite in. I think after that,
yeah,
you might be a favorite, but you're not going to be favored by much.
You're going to be the higher seed and get the home court, but Northwest split with Central, Western split with Central, and it could be a very interesting situation. LCCC had Central down 22 at Cheyenne. Central came back to win that, so there's no easy out as our campus security officers getting the student body amped up, or at least trying to get the student body amped up.
I think he's getting amped up.
Still awaiting the officials in case you're tuned in. And our officials have entered the building to the round of applause.
That'll be the last of the applause for them.
And and hopefully everybody is aware of the situation. It was none of their doing. It was all beyond the officials' control. It wasn't they overslept. They didn't have car trouble. They were on the interstate when it got closed ahead of them. They had to reroute, and to their credit, they're here. And we are getting ready for basketball.
I'm curious to know what their route was before and what their route was later, Did they go by where the elk were in Laramie?
Through the Sabile Canyon, perhaps?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll have to check that out. Let's get you starting lineups, and we probably could have done this while we were yapping, but we'll go with Malik Rebetez. He is a 6'3 sophomore from Switzerland, wears number 2. Darius Robinson wears number 3, a 6'1 sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, averages 18 points, 3 rebounds a game, and is an 89% free throw shooter. He is 43% from threes. He scored 33 twice this year as Darius Robinson. Number 4 is Abdul Bashir. He's a 6'7 freshman from Omaha. He averages 18 points, 4 rebounds per ball game, and he is a good three-point shooter. He's a 75% free throw shooter. He scored 33 Wednesday night. That's his game high of the season against Northwest at Cabri Gym. Wearing number 11 is Josh E.J. He's a 6'10 sophomore out of the United Kingdom, number 2 in rebounds in Region 9. And number 23, Nate Sasser III, a 6'6 freshman from West Palm Beach, Florida. It will be Rebetez, Robinson, Bashir, E.J., and Sasser that start dressed in their road blacks. White numbers, red trim, Casper College across their front. For CWC, they will start like this. Number 2 at the point, the 5'10 sophomore out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, averaging 12 points and 3 rebounds a game and just been doing a lot as of late. That is Lawrence De La Cruz. Wearing number 4, a 6'2 sophomore, 2 points and 2 rebounds a game out of Phoenix, Arizona, and Bella Vista Prep, Jaden Warren. King Solomon, 6' freshman, 16 points, 3 boards per ball game. Number 1 3-point shooting percentage in Region 9. That is King Solomon. Number 11 is Sam Marbury. I passed along his accolades before. 20 points a game he averages, 27 he averages in conference play. And the 6'10 sophomore standing in the jump circle right now is Julian Roberts. He'll step in against Josh E.J.
He averages about 16 a game.
Central in their home whites, Casper in the road black, and we are finally underway from Central Wyoming College.
I wonder when the last game was we didn't start this 5. It's been a while.
It has been a while, and Casper pretty much doing that same situation with theirs, is driving the lane and a steal right away by King Solomon as he took it out of the hands of Abdul Bashir. First turnover of the game, Marbury, 15-foot line. Fade away is no good as it falls off to Sasser.
Interesting to see how our shooters start here today.
I think it's probably imperative that they do get a good start. Rebetez on Marbury, leans in, throws it up kind of wildly. It's going to go out of bounds, and Central will get it. Good defense.
Well, yes, but at the same time, why would you take that shot?
Well, yeah, exactly. It was good defense that made him, I guess, perhaps take that shot.
Well, he hung himself up in the air and had to do something. That's a mistake.
Full court pressure out of the Thunderbirds. Waiting for that trap in the corner. They'll get it over to Solomon, and that's kind of the remedy right there as you break that first initial pass and they back off a little bit. But tenacious on that first pass. De La Cruz thought about going backdoor. Going to penetrate. Gives it out to Roberts. Short corner. Back to Juice. Won't shoot the three. He can, but doesn't. De La Cruz straight away for three is good. And the Rustlers have the first lead of the basketball game on a triple from Lawrence De La Cruz. A minute into the ball game on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard.
I guess, too, we talk about scores. He's been a scorer lately.
Wow. At the 20-second mark, which is the 10 count, having to call a timeout as Sasser. He does get it a whisker ahead. I mean, a slight whisker ahead of the 10-second whistle. And the Thunderbirds will burn their first timeout of the contest. Second good crowd in a row here at Central. Still a little bit of room for more as Rustlers are on the road next week and then back home for a play-in game against TBD to be decided. Halftime in Powell, Northwest leading Western right now 40-34 at Cabre Gym.
Figured that would be a close game.
A little over a minute old. 3-0 Central. Not sure what Robinson was looking in the crowd at as he was dribbling. He'll run past his man, and an offensive foul coming. Oh, they'll say he was in the circle. They'll say that it's a foul on Solomon, that he was inside of the restricted area.
Now, fouls could be a factor in a game like this, too, because, you know, you both have these big stars on your respective teams, and you certainly can't afford to get them in foul trouble in a contest of this magnitude.
Robinson will get the basket and one, and he will go to the free throw line. Kind of watch the replay on our web stream as Robinson, a very good free throw shooter, is at the line, and he will get it. And we're tied at 3 apiece.
Is there any red in those uniforms at all?
Just a slight outline around the number, it looks like.
Because that obviously was their predominant color.
De La Cruz, jump pass. Yeah, watching the replay, Solomon had 1 foot inside of that restricted area. Good call by the officials. 15 to shoot. Solomon gives it back up top. Marbury. De La Cruz now penetrates to Warren. Jaden's going to penetrate. Look back up top to Marbury. 5 to shoot. Good off the double team. Marbury, as the shot clock expires, missed it. And the rebound falls into the hands of Darius Robinson. And here come the Thunderbirds with their first chance at a lead. Bashir guarded by Solomon. He'll drive baseline, throws it up top. Robinson triple over De La Cruz, missed it. Battle for the rebound, and it bounces into the hands of King Solomon after Roberts battles with a Thunderbird. A couple of volleyball pokes at it. King back to Juice. Big guy for 3. That's good. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Julian Roberts. Central 2 for 2 from the arc to start it off.
That's what I said about him moving out to a different position as he moves on. He's got that capability.
So they have Warren guarding Sasser, so Bashir and Robinson guarded by Solomon and De La Cruz.
It's like a zone, really, though.
EJ misses the 15-footer straight away, and Julian Roberts, with the easiest rebound he'll get of the night, most likely, fell right in his hands. Marbury penetrates, scoots it back up. Marbury it's Jaden Warren. Bonus buckets for the Central Rustlers, and a near steal. It is a steal. But then throwing it right back in, Solomon ends up with it, scoops and scores.
Not an easy shot if we were to raise our voice here. Haven't had to do that too often.
Rustler Gym is electric in the first 4 minutes of the basketball game as the Rustlers are out to an 11-3 advantage on the second place Region 9 Thunderbirds. Rebetez back out top to Sasser. He'll work in on his man, partially blocked and taken away by Julian Roberts. Julian patrolling the inner side. This one's physical. Roberts underneath. He's going to turn. Baseline 6. Missed it. Couple of Thunderbirds battle for it, but it ends up in the hands of Robinson. Up ahead and an easy lay-in as Robinson, I won't say easy, he made it look easier than it was as he sails in and scores.
Sails the operative term there.
Full court pressure by the Thunderbirds. Cross court pass, De La Cruz into the corner. Julian for three. That's good. 2 triples for Roberts. The Rustlers are 4 for 4 from the arc in the first 5 minutes of the basketball game. They have staked themselves out to a 9-point advantage, their largest of the ball game. Rebetez, left side, the answer by Bashir. Casper 1 of 2 from the arc early on. Central has played very well at home. De La Cruz across the timeline. Sam Marbury, deep triple. Their first miss of the day, and saving it was Robinson. Very loud Rustler Gym, even though it's not packed. Robinson, he'll net 3 and bring his team within 3, 14-11. Nice big shots by Robinson and Bashir, back-to-back triples.
And that's where you expect to see it come from.
Absolutely. Robinson already has 8. He averages 18. Sullivan avoids the half-court trap. De La Cruz, wide open triple. That one's front of the iron, no good, but the rebound by Jaden Warren, and he is fouled as he took off running.
Hey, don't be talking to crowd.
And we'll see the official will get Sasser. Number 1 on him. Tay Hollins, Lucas Engel into the ball game. Lucas, the hometown kid from Riverton High School, a sophomore. Tay Hollins out of Roseville, California. Got a Casper College substitution as Jimmy James has checked into the ball game for the Thunderbirds. James, a 6'6" freshman out of Canada. Corner, Solomon missed it.
James averages double figures, too, by the way, off the bench.
He'll take the rebound and go the distance, have it stripped by Marbury, but it will stay Casper College basketball. And here comes Sal Duga Moraboto into the contest for Central, wearing number 0. He'll check in for King Solomon. He's out of Northridge, California, L.B. Wilson High School. Rebetez, wide open. Robinson, you cannot give him that wide open shot. And that's why, as he ties the game at 14. Going to see another sub coming in. Jaden Peters next dead ball, and Engel throws it away right into the hands of Rebetez. Rebetez 1-on-2, scoops and scores, and Casper has their first lead of the ball game.
That shot was blocked initially, and he still kept with it and put it up and in.
Contested well. So after Central put up a sizable advantage at 11-3, Engel, boy, he gets held, nothing called, and stealing it from behind is Robinson.
Was it a 9-point lead, 14-5 maybe at one time?
Rebetez might have traveled and instead gets fouled by Lawrence De La Cruz, who will get a media timeout at 13:32 remaining first half. Casper out in front, 16-14. We'll be back after this break. This is Rustler basketball from Rustler Media.
Gales Carpet Floor and Home in Riverton and Altitude Interiors of Lander is proud to support Central Wyoming College athletic broadcasts, offering vinyl, hardwood, tile, and laminate flooring. All can be found online at galescarpet1riverton.com and altitudeinteriors.net.
Myers Gambles is a proud supporter of Rustler Sports Broadcasts. They're located in downtown Lander at 420 Main Street, offering furniture, mattresses, appliances, home office, kitchen, and more. They feature brands like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Jenn-Air. Turn around, shop in town. More details can be found online at landergambles.com.
An 11-0 run by Casper College has put them out to a 16-14 lead, 13:32 left. Central had the place rocking and was up 14-5, and Since then, the Thunderbirds have roared back.
You know, these are two explosive teams. In fact, I'm a little surprised the first game was 79-77.
Exactly. It's Casper basketball after the strip and knock away.
You know, CWC wasn't sure. They had to bring a couple players back from the other side of the court.
It was actually a foul on De La Cruz that got us to the break. Jim and James working on Engel. Good defensive move by Engel. Bashir with his second three of the night.
And the defense was there.
Gives Casper their biggest lead of the afternoon now of 5.
I think it's evening now, by the way. The delay got us.
Dugan Moroboto gives the ball to Solomon, who is fouled by Robinson. And that was a great play by Sal, because where he was going to throw that would have been borderline over and back, but he bounced it off the floor to buy Solomon a little extra minute to get across the timeline to avoid the over and back. Moroboto, high post, Juice, back to Sal. Engel has it now left side. Engel was 0 for 4 from 3 last year. He's made 3 3-pointers this year, has Lucas. 5 to shoot. Solomon sets his feet, knocks down the triple.
And that was with good defense on him.
Yeah, that was great defense, better offense. James, pump fake, Robinson. He'll airmail that one, skimmed off the iron, and a rebound comes to the Rustlers with a chance to tie it up or take back the lead. Marbury will check in next, dead ball for the Rustlers with 12:20 left to play in the first half on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Solomon again, that one's left well short as he kind of got bodied up.
The shooters for each team back-to-back have air balls.
Out of bounds it goes to the Thunderbirds. He and Bashir talking after that one, like, kind of, hey, what happened on these last 2 shots between us there? Bashir, Robinson back to Bashir. Tay Hollins on him defensively. Bashir to the low block, throws it at the feet of his man in the corner. That is Peters. Driving, and Juice getting pretty good defense, but James with better offense, he'll score.
Was he juking on that play, perhaps?
Marbury to Dugan Moroboto. Sal behind the back dribble. Hands it back to Marbury, who came in on that last stop-in play. Sam through traffic, back to Juice. His 3rd triple on the night is not going to happen as it airmails.
Wow, what's with the airmail all of a sudden?
Good question. Thunderbird women in the house making noise. They won 81-62 earlier. EJ comes out of the ball game as Kuhn Kwan will check into the ball game for Casper. Jane Warren back in for Central. James is going to be fouled and will score as Jaden kind of poked out at him as he ran past him. James will score. He'll get the and 1. And they're going to go with a foul instead against Roberts. I thought I thought Jaden had got the swipe
Roberts
at it.
got caught in a bad spot because the lane had opened up and he had to come over to try to help, and there's your personal foul.
23-17, Casper out in front, matching their biggest lead of the night and adding, now making it 7 on the 3-point play by Jimma James. King Solomon in the backcourt to De La Cruz. Back to Marbury. Sam will beat the 10 count. Goes back to the logo with it. De La Cruz, now Warren. Jaden.
You know, one thing you can do, too, in a game like this is, even if, you know, you're pressing, you can make a shooter, you know, have to use a lot of energy.
Central gives it away on one end, and Jimma James takes 2 huge steps and gets to the other side of the rim and lays it in on the other, and Casper with a 9-point lead now.
But see what I'm saying? Like, Marbury's having to work so hard, you know, without taking the shot even.
Back to the basket. Marbury dishes over to Warren, out to De La Cruz for a triple. It's no good. And the rebound to the Thunderbirds. Long pass up ahead. Bashir lay it up and in. And a coach calling a timeout. Brad Schmidt burning the timeout as the Thunderbirds,
I'll think about it, since that early lead.
23-3.
There we go.
The spurt by the Thunderbirds since they got down 14-5. They've outscored Central 23-3. That three-pointer by King Solomon, the only basket for Central in a while as you look in on the Central huddle.
You see what I was talking about, though? Like, try to make your shooters work so hard in other aspects of their game that their legs could go on them, which is also an important part of your shooting.
Which is why you sometimes will see they don't have the best players guarding the other team's best players, so they don't have to work that hard on the other end of the court. Solomon, De La Cruz, Marbury, Warren, and Roberts, the 5 on the floor for Central.
Starting lineup.
James, Bashir, Robinson, Peters, and Quan. That's actually Rebetez. Robinson is not on the court at the moment for the Thunderbirds. Central could use a bucket this trip down the floor in a bad way. Warren back to Marbury. Corner, Solomon, pump fake, gets free, tries the three. It's going to fall off the other side and into the hands of Abdul Bashir.
Oh, Roberts sure got squeezed on that play by about 3 different Thunderbirds.
James tries that big step into the paint, kicks it back out to Rebetez. Out to the outside corner, Quan for 3, missed it.
But they like to attack and dish.
First stat of the game for Sam Marbury is a rebound. Has not scored. And an offensive foul on Julian Roberts.
That is his second, and that's big too.
Turnover number 6. Excuse me. Turnover number 1 on Central by my count.
That was very slight, as far as a foul, I thought.
Coach Schmidt demonstrating to the official
the slightness of it.
What he thought was not, in fact, a foul. It's been pretty physical. Conference tournament type atmosphere and physicality to this one. We're under 10 minutes left in the first half. Thunderbirds by 11 with a basketball. Rebetez spins. He'll go over the top of his man and score.
And some of these shots they're making are not easy shots.
No. Full court pressure and a 13-point Casper advantage, their biggest of the night. Marbury, long triple on the way is good. Much needed bucket for both him and his team. First basket of the game for Marbury. Driving, missing is Robinson.
It's not a bad idea, though. You got Roberts in there with the 2 fouls to attack him in that position.
Marbury has it stripped out of there, taken away. Driving and scoring is Jimmy James.
And hanging to make the score.
9 points for James off the bench. And the ball bouncing off a foot, and then a foul going to be whistled on Peters. Is it Peters, or is it going to be on Kuhn Quan? It's going to be on Quan, his first. Jaden out, Beeman in. For the 5 sophomores recognized in this game prior to being on the court right now for Central. Beeman will inbound it. He'll give it to De La Cruz. 8.5 left. Marbury again, pump fake twice. Corner, Beeman on the way, no good. And a rebound by Peters. Triple the other way, no good. Marbury will come away with a rebound. 3 boards for Sam. Central got the defensive stop. They could use a bucket on this end. Good switches at the top. He'll try a long 3. No good. Ball goes off of the backboard and picked up by Peters. Dish underneath. Scoring is Quan on a great pass from Rebetez.
That was a pretty good sleight of hand, really, on that play.
34-20, a 14-point Casper advantage. Backdoor baseline, give it to Juice in the paint for 6. It's too hard, but he's fouled on the follow-through by James.
We talked all that time about these last 2 games being the revenge tour, for CWC, and we knew that this would be the revenge type of game, maybe a short tour for Casper College after losing at home to the CWC Rustlers.
Roberts will go to the line on the foul by James, his first. Free throw good by Roberts. 7 points for Juice, they call him.
That's a nice thing for a big man, too, where he goes somewhere, to know that you can keep him in the entire game because he can shoot free throws.
And he can get out at 6'10" and shoot the three as well. Tay Hollins has come in for Central. Sasser back in for the Thunderbirds. Also back in is Josh E.J. Engel will come in if Roberts can hit this free throw, which he does. 8 first-half points for Roberts. Engel will come in defensively now.
This is not your strong offensive lineup out there right now. You've got one double-figure scorer out there.
Solomon, that being that right now. Juan will get it across the timeline. Give the ball out to Rebetez. And, I'm thinking, I know they've got a couple of shooters, but right now, how many buckets have been scored in that area right there?
Yeah.
If you don't maybe go to a zone as Bradley Beeman, and you haven't hardly really played it all year, so maybe that's not the move either.
Well, they played zone a lot more last year, didn't they?
Back-to-back triples for Jaden Warren. He's got 2, and I mean back-to-back for him shooting them, not Central, but he cuts the lead back to single digits. We'll get a media timeout on the next whistle of play. Quan, right side, driving. Engel makes him adjust, but he'll dish it off to EJ, who jams it through.
Nice interior passing by this Casper team.
Yeah, they have that shot chart is very colored around the basket for them. Tay Hollins wide open, triple the other side. Missed it. Engel was held. He got the rebound anyway. Sasser looks in disbelief and gives up. You can hear the Malik Rebetez underneath saying, look at the height we have. He's like, stay there and let's rebound the basketball. We've got our media timeout. 6:35 left to play first half. Thunderbirds led once by 14. They lead by 11. Rustler basketball when we come back from this timeout on Rustler Media.
The Wind River Casino has something for everyone when it comes to dining, and they're a great supporter of Rustler Radio. The Red Willow Steak and Seafood is open Thursday through Sunday from 4 to 9 p.m. The Buffalo Sportsbook Grill is open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Menus and more information can be found at windriverhotelcasino.com.
It is that kind of ball.
6:35 left to play, you were going to say?
I said, is the kind of ball they're playing, but they're very unselfish playing it. As you look at it, looks like it's undisciplined, but it's disciplined just in a different way.
Very good interior passing after the drives as well. 10 minutes left to play in Gillette. Pronghorns taking control of that one, 87-46 on Eastern. 15 left to play in Powell. Northwest leading 50-40 on Western Wyoming, but Central not going to worry about that game at the moment. They've got bigger fish to fry as they find themselves down by 11 to the number 2 Casper Thunderbirds. Solomon to inbound. He'll go deep into the backcourt to Engel. No subs for Central on that timeout of the media variety. Beeman looking, goes to Solomon. King now. To Hollins, down low into the paint. Engel turn and spin with the right hand. It's not good, and EJ the rebound. Not a bad look by Lucas, just couldn't finish it off.
Points they can get out of Engel and Warren, can be huge in a game like this.
Absolutely, and that's the first rebound of the game by EJ, by the way. It's been everybody else as they've out-rebounded Central 14-11 in the first 15 minutes of the ball game. Right side, no good. Good box out by Engel.
In an athletic game like this, it's very rare to see a one-bounce rebound.
That was because of the rebound, the box out by Engel, as Solomon ended up getting the rebound. Coach giving some offensive information to his team. Beeman, long triple on the way outside is good. Boy, Central has 8 threes in the first half. Might have been a travel at midcourt by Rebetez as he stops short of the line. James going to drive, partially rejected and taken away by Engel. CYE was the defensive player of the year his senior year in high school down the road. Hollins wide open, triple. That one is no good. And a rebound taken away by the Thunderbirds.
Guessing Engel did not play against his quality opponent probably in high school, though.
Not quite, as Bashir for 3. Missed it. Rebound put back up. That's no good. by EJ. And taking it away are the Rustlers.
And Coach Smith says, calm down, calm down.
Down by 8. Just under 5 left to play on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard first half. Appreciate you tuning in on RustlerAthletics.com. Warren's going to go the distance, put it up, missed it. Robinson the rebound, and a travel violation on the other side on Abdul Bashir will be turnover number 6 on the Thunderbirds. Marbury back in, De La Cruz back in. Good minutes for Jaden Warren. No, he's going to stay. And Tay Hollins is the one that comes out with Beeman. So it stays Solomon, Marbury, De La Cruz, Warren, and Engel. With 4:32 left, Central trailed by as much as 14. They're down 8 at the moment. They have the basketball.
Interesting, the defense is very tight on some players, but on De La Cruz, not that tight.
Pump fake, drives, floats, swatted. James takes it away. Hands it back off. Robinson, 10. Glass is good. He's got 13 points now.
And I thought Engel may have had him adjust that shot.
Jaden Warren was open. Yeah, it is kind of weird defense, as you mentioned, by the Thunderbirds. It's obviously going to be suffocating tight on Marbury, but they're kind of playing off of others that maybe don't need played off of as much. Like De La Cruz going to get a 3 away. That one's no good. It's tipped out of bounds by Jaden Warren, and it will go Casper basketball. 5-team rebounds for the Thunderbirds as they have out-rebounded Central by that margin now at 19-14. Central 8 of 19 from the arc. Casper's only 4 of 9, but they've filled it up inside of 6 feet of the basket. And then they'll throw it away. Not sure what Bashir was doing, is he kind of didn't turn his body enough to really make a good pass on that, and he threw it behind him into the crowd.
I think he was pretty determined he was going to make that pass, and when the player had vacated, that was just not a good move.
Central with 3:30 left, trying to take advantage of the 7th Thunderbird turnover. Solomon penetrates, floats, 10, got it. King Solomon has 7. Cuts the lead back to 8.
You tell he had to adjust his shot against this athletic team as well. That floater.
Rebetez to James. James altered and scores anyway. He's got 11. He's very athletic.
Yeah, kind of a double pump as he went up there for the layup.
Shot it over the 6'10 Roberts as well. Jaden Warren, another triple. Not good. Swatted out of there by De La Cruz. There's Marbury's triple. That one's no good again.
Actually, Solomon took that one.
Solomon,
from a distance, but
EJ with his 4th rebound. Central now 8 of 21 from the arc. They'd hit their first 4 of the game and built a 14-5 lead. Pump fake. James through the hands of Roberts out of bounds. It should stay Casper basketball. We're going to see Peters back into the game for the Thunderbirds. Beeman checking back in for Solomon.
Kind of a short rest for Beeman, really, there.
30-40. Casper up 10. Robinson, actually, Bashir gives it up. Robinson ends up with it right side. 15 nestles in. 15 for Robinson. Again, 33. He scored twice this year.
37-35 was the score the first time they played at halftime, and that was the lead for CWC that they held.
Jaden Warren triple is off the mark again, and up ahead. Triple on the other side is Jaden Peters.
I thought we were going to see the lob there for a second for a dunk attempt, actually, but it didn't happen that way.
Instead, it ends up being the largest lead of the game for the Thunderbirds now of 15 with 2 minutes left to play in the ball game. Casper's defense, I think, has taken Central out of what they've wanted to do in this one. They were hitting shots way early on that got him a 14-5 lead, but since then, boy, Roberts, I think, got away with a walk as he set himself into position. 5 to shoot. Marbury back up top. Roberts for a triple. Front of the iron. Beeman has it stripped and taken away.
He might have been stripped a little bit himself there.
The other side, James spins, scoops, and will not get it to go, and the ball's out of bounds. It'll be, I thought Central basketball, but they're going to go the other way with it. I thought that it came off of the man that was blocking out Marbury, but Central going to be back on defense, 18 to shoot. Northwest has opened up a 14-point lead on Western with 12.5 left to play in Powell. Bashir pulls it out to the midcourt, actually the right side corner, and the three does not go. Knocked out of bounds by Quan, and Central basketball. And the press, I don't think, has gotten a lot of mileage as far as turnovers and buckets.
It's made them work.
But it's definitely, I think, taken a physical toll on the Rustlers.
And they backed out of it a little bit right there.
How hard they've had to work to get the ball into the front court. De La Cruz, 15, misses it. Julian will
a lot of tap-type rebound attempts here.
Battle and get the rebound, and Sam wants an and one. Referee was saying no shot before that even left his hands. Robinson will get his second personal foul, and it's going to be out of bounds to the Rustlers.
Boy, in a physical game to not be in the penalty either way.
Very physical game as James will re-enter the lineup. Boy, talk about short respites. Robinson's going to come out with those two personals. Just the sixth team foul on the Thunderbirds. Beeman lobs it up to Warren at the midcourt area. We're under a minute left in a Thunderbird 15-point advantage. Marbury, right side 15, snaps nylon. He's got 5 points, does Marbury. Nice dish and a bucket by Quan on the great pass by James.
Yeah, it's interesting. We talked about those two big guns at the start of the game, but they're much more than that, as we're seeing here.
Absolutely. Jimmy James has come alive off the bench with 11.
He averages that on the season at 10.9, in fact.
Shot clock is gone. 15 seconds left in the first half. Down by 15 Central. Marbury working on James. Good defense by James. Marbury leaves one short. De La Cruz, the rebound. Double clutch. Glass is good, and that's the buzzer.
Well, is that the harbinger of something to come, perhaps?
Yeah, not quite the harbinger of a three-quarter court shot made by Jaden Warren on Thursday night against Western Wyoming, but we are at the break. Central had a 14-5 advantage, and then it became all Thunderbirds at that point as they came in, took care of business, and have put themselves up by 13. We're going to visit with SB Vergara from the CWC women's team in that chair right there. Next, as we'll get to the halftime show brought to you by our friends at Buckle Up for Life, Wyoming. It is Casper 47, Central 34. I think a much more...
Look how tired we look coming off to the...
Exactly.
All with drinks almost.
I think a much more, anticipated offensive score of what we would expect for teams that average 90 and 84 versus the 79, 77 we saw the last time.
That, so
47-30 Thunderbirds out in front at the break. Your Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show is next. This is Rustler basketball from Rustler Media.
Support of Rustler Athletics comes from Sutherland's on North Federal Boulevard in Riverton. Whether you have a minor repair or a large project, take advantage of Sutherland's many rewards. Sign up for our emails and monthly gifts. Save even more with the Sutherland's Friends of the Family Plus consumer credit card. Apply online or see a store associate for complete details. You can order online for in-store or curbside pickup at Sutherlands.com. Sutherlands of Riverton, helping you build it better since 1917.
Wind River Family and Community Health Care, Wind River Cares, has opened a winter warming hut behind 789 Smoke Shop and Casino. Open daily from 5 p.m. to 9 a.m., this safe haven provides shelter for all community members in need. Call 307-438-3421 or 307-438-3370 for more information or to offer help. Share this message to support those who need warmth this winter. Wind River Family and Community Health Care, caring for our community, one warm night at a time.
47-34 on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Casper out in front of Central. Their largest lead of the basketball game was 15. They lead by 13 at the break. In the previous game of the night, it was the Casper College Thunderbirds taking down Central 81-62. SB Vergara played in that game. 13 points for SB off the bench today, and a much better effort by your team today. I mean, it was 20-17 at the end of the first quarter, and I know not happy with a 19-point loss, but you definitely got to be happy with a second time around and a better Rustler showing.
Absolutely. It was nice coming in tonight because we had the adrenaline, and I mean, obviously last time we played them, we got blown out. And
it was over early.
Yeah, and it was embarrassing, and we didn't want that to happen, especially for our sophomore, Chris. We wanted to give her our all. As far as like me, I gave my all for her because she deserved to go out with the bangs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boy, it seems like our team being short, like 9 players, it seems that always tends to take a toll on us a little bit as the game goes on.
Yeah, we get fatigued really quick, but tonight I was fine with it because everyone was working. They were working as hard as they could, and I mean, that's what we needed tonight. Everyone contributed, whether you played 10 minutes or not.
I think it sets you up for Gillette in a way too. You're coming off a loss, but you're coming off a much improved performance.
Absolutely, we're ready to take on Gillette.
Well, and it's playoffs. You've got to win it, or the season comes to an end Thursday night. So the pressure is either on or it's off, whichever way you look at it right now.
Yep.
They lost tonight 73-53. Talk about what the sophomore has meant to the team, the lone sophomore, and what you guys, coming in as rookies have to learn from one kid.
I think what she brought to me, especially because she was the point guard, was that just to have that drive to want to do it. Even though she didn't start most of the season and she didn't get that much playing time as she wanted, she still came in and she worked her butt off every day, whether she got playing time or not. And that's what I cherish about her, and that's why I look up to her, because she's always had that fight in her, and we need that on the team. She's a great leader on and off the court, so we appreciate her.
Espy, thanks for coming up. Here's to extending the season a couple more weekends.
Thank you.
Good luck Thursday.
Thank you.
You bet. Espy Vergara, 13 points.
Remember, she kept us in the game in the early going.
Yeah, hey, Espy, I forgot to ask you about that. Put those on real quick. You scored the first 11 points of the game. What was that like?
That was awesome. I had it in me. I was ready to go.
But then 2 more later, but I think they put a little more focus on you after that. They're like, okay, this kid right here. But that's all I did. Joel had pointed that out, but that's how I just wanted to bring you back in and talk about that really quick.
Thank you.
Thanks, Espy. Espy Vergara, 13 points, like Joel mentioned, scored the first 11 points of the game for CWC as well. So real quick, going to put the headphones on the head coach, Leighton Westmoreland, and shaking up the starting lineup a little bit. You said you'd use all the timeouts in one quarter if you needed to, and you stayed true to form. Luckily, you didn't have to do that in a much better showing today. I know moral victories aside, I know that's not what you want, but a much better representation of your basketball team against the 22nd ranked team in the country today.
Absolutely. We at the very least, we were looking for redemption. We definitely did not put our best foot forward when we were in Casper a few weeks ago, and we came out strong. And that's what I've tried to tell this team, is that we can compete with anybody. Winning's a different story, and so that's still the name of the game, is trying to get those wins and not have those lulls for minutes at a time, and ultimately that's what did us in. But I thought we played a much better performance and put on a much better night than we've done in a long time.
And he started shooting very well. That fell off, I think, a little bit with the fatigue of just having to survive different possessions and things like that, but they shot very well early on, and that faded out. Western defeated Northwest 73-65. Eastern beat Gillette by 20, and it sets up a big game, I guess. It's playoff time. Your next game is loser out, basically.
Exactly. Thursday, if we beat Gillette, we're in, whether they beat Northwest or not, because we'll have the tiebreaker with the win over Eastern. And so it almost, and I hate to say it this way, but it almost seems like this is the situation our team wants to be in. Anytime our backs are up against the wall, which that was our mentality against Eastern, is, we dropped that one the night before against LCCC, and I challenged them and said, if we can't beat Eastern on our home floor, then we don't deserve to keep playing. And then the same thing against Gillette, the only other team that had one win at the time, and tell them the same thing. If we can't beat Gillette on our home floor, then we don't have any business moving on. And so I think they thrive in that. And kind of as you saw tonight against Casper's, they knew it was David versus Goliath in everybody's eyes. As confident as they are, everybody else sees us as the underdogs. And so they take that as a challenge and come out and compete. And I think it's just we just don't have enough horses. It's hard to play with 9 whenever they're rotating 15 bodies every night.
Well, and when you're outsized at almost every single position out there as well.
Yeah, my question was going to be, it'd be nice to have those 2 players injured playing, because you can't even make a fully wholesale change out there to give everybody a rest at the same time. Somebody doesn't get that rest.
Absolutely, and I know it's all what ifs, and everybody can disagree all they want, but I really feel if we had Macy and Rhea, just with the help on substitutions and, like you said, making some of those wholesale substitutions and just with shot selections and things that we can do with their versatility, I think we're sitting number 2 in the conference right now.
And I think it's a coaching moment, too, because that way you can take a player out and talk to a player more with you have a full roster rather than I can't take her out, I need her out there, and I can't use a coaching moment at this point.
Exactly.
Even from a 5-on-5 standpoint during the week.
Yep, exactly. There's weeks that I'm having to practice and get up and down 5-on-5. My student assistant, who's been great all year long, he brings his basketball shoes every day ready to suit up and scrimmage. And, but, not going to take anything away from Casper. I mean, they're a great team, and, they knew that they had to come in here with our hot shooting and play well, and we just really disrupted them defensively in the first half.
Yeah, the defense made the offense, I thought, in a way.
One last quick question, and then we got to get to some stats of the men's game and get ready for the second half. But just one more time, talk about your one sophomore and how she's had to be the leader of the rest of the youngins, basically, and to the testament of Crizel going from a star last year to not starting this year and still being Crizel has to speak volumes for her.
Yes, I mean, she's going down in the history books, hopefully for a long time. She's done so much for us and turning this program to the point we need it to be, and she's been great. She's been humble from day one. She didn't start well, and we had a couple meetings about it, and she said, Coach, if this is what's best for the team, for us to be successful, then I'll go to the bench, and I'll be okay with that. And we had a talk in December as well about her role and about her future, and my talk to her was, look, finish strong, no regrets. And so that's what I had to embrace with her there after the sophomore ceremony before we tipped off, and that's what I told her again. I said, you made it to that last home stretch, no regrets. So
good luck Thursday. Go get them.
Thank you.
You bet. Thanks. Leighton Westmoreland, head coach of the CWC women's basketball team. They fell 81-62. They'll play for their lives Thursday against the Gillette Pronghorns on the road at the Pronghorn Palace.
Aside, you see Giselle always in the hallway smiling. She seems to have this real positive attitude. I don't really know.
Crizel, is that what you said?
That's what I meant to say.
Okay. I was like, but I missed the topic change there, but no, yeah, you're right.
And she just has this kind of this glow about her when you see her walking in the hallways.
Very determined young lady, our sophomore. 47-34. It's going to be Casper basketball to begin the second half. Let's run through some quick first half stats for you. Darius Robinson leading the way, 15 points. Jimmy James off the bench has 11. After that, it falls off pretty good. Bashir has 8. And then 4 for Quan, 4 for Rebetez, 3 for Peters, 2 for EJ in the contest. On the other side, Central, Roberts has 8. Warren has 6. 7 for King Solomon. De La Cruz and Marbury each have 5 in the contest. Casper has out-rebounded Central 22-20. But Casper right now shooting 56% from the field, 20 of 36. They've only hit 5 of 11
layups.
Yeah, they've only hit 5 of 11 threes, but they haven't had to because when they get within 6 feet of the hoop, they almost score every single time they do that right now. But
and Roberts is in a tough spot with 2 fouls too. Like, how much can I help? I noticed that towards the end of the half a couple of times. I think he basically just had to avoid a foul.
You look at the Central three-point shooting and you're thinking 8 of 23, 35% in the first half, and you think this has got to bode well, but they're 8 of 23 and down by 13 points right now.
And how many of the shots were threes out of the 20?
They had 12 shots that weren't threes.
There you go.
In the first half.
I think it'd be a problem too.
8 of 23. They're 12 of 35 from the field. 2 of 2 free throws. Casper 2 of 2 from the free throw line as well. We are at the break. This has been
Think about this. The gals game was closer at halftime than the guys game. Who would have thunk that?
I would have to concur on that one. Your halftime show brought to you by Buckle Up for Life Wyoming. Casper basketball, when we return, they lead 47-34 on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard.
This has been the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show. Thanks to WYDOT, who reminds you to buckle up every trip, every time. The second half is next from Rustler Media.
If you're out on the road and the weather is getting bad, do you wonder what the road ahead holds for you? Download WYDOT's 511 app for Android and iOS to get the best real-time updates when traveling. Winter can bring unpredictable and potentially hazardous weather conditions, so be prepared with WYDOT's 511 app. Download it today at wildroad.info.
Hey there, farmers and future gardeners. Are you ready to get your hands dirty and learn the ins and outs of small farm management? Central Lyman College is now accepting applications for their crop production practicum. Picture this, a 6-month hands-on program nestled in the picturesque Alpine Science Institute in the mountains above Lander. Here you'll get your green thumbs ready as you delve into all aspects of farm management on our half-acre vegetable farm. From planting seeds in the spring to the rewarding harvest in the fall and even putting the garden to bed for the winter. This course is perfect if you're passionate about growing veggies for yourself or the community. No prior experience is necessary, and we have partial scholarship funding available. The class starts on April 5th, so don't wait. Call the Lander Center, 307-332-3394, or email landercenter@cwc.edu to learn more and secure your spot in this exciting opportunity. Don't miss out on this chance to grow your passion and skills in farming. Apply now and let's get growing together.
Lights, camera, action!
Do you want to star in a movie? Then you're in luck. CWC's film department is hosting auditions for their upcoming films. The auditions will be held in Riverton on March 6th from 4 to 7 p.m. in the Intertribal Center, and in Lander on March 7th from 4 to 7 p.m. at the CWC Outreach. No experience is required, and everyone is welcome to audition. For more information, call 855-2212. That's 855-2212. Can't wait to see you on the big screen.
The Rustler 500. Your chance to win part of $15,000 in prize money while helping CWC athletes.
The winner will get $10,000.
Check out more at rustlerathletics.com.
So they have switched the possession arrow, and it will be Central ball to begin the second half, as opposed to the Thunderbirds, which the arrow was pointing to the entirety of the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show. King Solomon, Sam Marbury, Lawrence De La Cruz, Julian Roberts, and Jaden Warren, the 5 dressed in white, orange numbers, black trim. Rustlers across their front. On the other side, it's Malik Rebetez, Darius Robinson, Abdul Bashir, Josh E.J. And it is Nate Sasser that will get the start on the other side for the Thunderbirds, dressed in black, white numbers, trimmed in a light skosh of red for Tom Parks in his first season. Roberts, Solomon gets free at the top. First triple of the game of the second half is not going to go down, and EJ with his 5th rebound of the basketball game. Baseline, Bashir missed it, put back up and in by EJ. 15 points matches the largest lead.
And not the start you wanted, because you got the missed shot, but then the easy putback.
Yeah, you had the three-pointer of the three-point attempt of the guy that you wanted there to shoot it as well, and it just did not go down for King Solomon.
Pretty much just forfeited your getting the ball first in the second half.
De La Cruz runs past his man, left hand, right side. 7 points for Lawrence De La Cruz.
Nice job on the extension to make it so it couldn't be defended.
Rebetez to Robinson. Bashir jumps from the front court to the back court.
Apparently that doesn't get called anymore.
I think it's more the other direction that... I don't know.
I'm not sure we've seen. I think ones we thought for sure were.
Bashir for 3, missed it. Marbury will get the rebound. Sam with 7 rebounds and 5 points. Goes corner Warren. Back to De La Cruz. Gillette. I don't have a final, but I know they handled Eastern Wyoming today. Julian. Rejected, and a goaltend on EJ, and Roberts has 10 points now. Just got a piece of the glass before EJ knocked it out of there and gets called for the goaltend. Northwest leading with 5 minutes left against Western, 70-63.
Rebetez. Ebb and flowed a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Rebetez hands it off Robinson now. Bashir ends up with it. Sam got a piece of it. The Thunderbirds wanted an and one, but nice job by Marbury. Got the swat and then gets the rebound. Sam in traffic, dishes off to Roberts, pump fake, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line. And that's a great interior pass by Marbury, who's you would think maybe
made the play.
Would want to force more. He stays in the system and gives the dish. And the foul is called on EJ, which is number 1. Casper only committed 6 team fouls in the first half. Central only shot 2 free throws. Roberts made both, and he will not get this one. He's 2 for 3 now. Western has hit a big shot, and they're down by 4 now with 4:20 left in the game in Powell. Roberts back to the line. Only Rustler in double figures. He'll get that one to drop. Cuts the lead to 10 after the 5-point run of sorts by the Rustlers. Bashir hands it off to Rebetez. He's got Sullivan defending him. Looking for a pick from EJ. Rebetez. Baseline, reverse, loose. Picked up by Sullivan. Turn it over. And then a from behind play. Gets it right back. EJ, nice job not giving up on the play. Rebetez, boy, a lot of contact there. Dish it off and flush by Sasser.
Like I said, a lot of contact, and talking about it with the official right now.
And it could have gone both ways as an offensive and a defensive foul at that point, where Lawrence had to run through the pick. Go down low, trailing the play. Warren lays it up and in. 8 points, Jaden Warren. How about sophomore night? Picking a great night for your career high. He's got 8. His career high was 7 coming into this one. He had 2 triples in the first half, and he's got a bucket there. Cuts the lead back to 10.
But it's so weird. You got 8 points from him, and you're down by 10.
Right. Rebetez gives it off. Pinned to the backboard. They'll call it goaltending on that. And now Jaden Warren and Malik Rebetez have to be separated. Not sure who they credit with the basket. And we're going to stop play for just a minute. We need a ref to inbound the ball. And it's getting a little chippy. Imagine that in a junior college basketball game.
You don't have to imagine it.
Exactly. Marbury in the backcourt. Gives it off. De La Cruz trying to watch the replay to see who ends up getting that basket.
Solomon and Robinson bumping each other a little bit, too, in the offense.
It was credited to Bashir, by the way. Juice underneath. Jaden in traffic. Rejected out of there as he got down in the trees, and he got knocked back out of there by EJ, who's one of the best shot blockers in Casper College history. And then an and one as EJ gets a nice pass and puts it up and in.
That's that great interior passing we were talking about earlier, and it continues.
And he got fouled by Roberts on the play.
And that is his 3rd. But can you afford to take him out?
Exactly. 3rd personal on Roberts. And out the line goes Josh EJ. 6 points, 6 rebounds. And Engel will rise to come in, and Roberts will get the rebound. Central on the attack. De La Cruz runs down the lane, puts it up, tapped back by Roberts. And now we'll get a stop and play, and a jump ball is the call. A great turnaround pass by Jimmy James that got EJ the basket that I was watching. Central with a turnover. Trailing by 14 with 15 left. EJ over Engel, scores it. He's got 8.
It's awfully tough to stop and just set up your office about 3 feet from the basket.
Marbury loses it in the backcourt and throws it away. And a timeout called by Jaden Warren alertly. And Coach Parks wants an over and back, but that's the same over and back that they didn't give Casper a minute ago on the Riverton side. And yeah, Coach Parks is saying that's a 10-second violation, but his team also had a timeout when the clock hit 20 on the shot
20,
clock.
That means it's 20 points something.
Exactly. Heads up play by Jaden Warren to save that possession for Central. 15-17 left to play in the ball game, and the largest lead of the night for the Thunderbirds of 57-41.
And also, you've taken off 5 minutes in the second half, and you've not condensed that lead at all.
And I didn't see this. I'm not going to say I didn't think Casper couldn't come in here and win, but to be up by 16 at this point is a little surprising to me, especially considering the 14-5 start that Central had. I would not have thought that this would turn around and be a 25-point turnaround from that mark.
But we do know one thing about both these teams. They can be streaky offensively, including, well, CWC even in this game, as you said to start.
Casper right now, 25 of 44 shooting in the ball game. That is 57% from the field. They've only hit 5 threes, but they haven't needed to because they've been so good in the 8 feet around the basket.
The last 2 shots were 2 feet and 4 feet away.
Appreciate you tuning in on RustlerAthletics.com and the CWC Rustlers YouTube page. I'm John Gabrielson. That's Joel Kindle. Thanks to Andrew Belongo, our student director, back in the Wyoming PBS studio.
Tay Hollins has checked into the game, by the way.
Julian and Noah, our camera operators, as Tay Hollins is back in. De La Cruz steps back 15, left it short. Ball battled around. Tay ends up with it. He'll miss. And then finally taken away by Darius Robinson.
You got to worry about the legs on our shooters. I mean, I just think you have to.
Jimmy James poked away by De La Cruz. It's to the ground, and then kicking it to get a better position was Darius Robinson. And that's a no-no, and that'll be a turnover. Robinson did a little soccer control on that one. And the near side ref did not call it. It was the opposite side ref that saw it.
And Roberts back in with 3 fouls, by the way.
He'll come in for Marbury, who has 5 points. The leading scorer in Region 9 points per game. Comes out with just 5. Julian thought about a 3, almost traveled with it. Instead, Solomon baseline rejected by Darius Robinson. Stays Central basketball. And back in comes Jaden Peters. You know, we haven't seen Marich. He's a big fella for the Thunderbirds at 6'9", out of Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Also got to give credit, the best dressed coaches we've seen this year are the 2 from Casper College.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both in suits.
Coach Parks. Ball knocked out of the hands by Robinson of Sullivan, and he'll turn it over right in front of the Rustler bench. Trappers have opened up a 12-point lead on the Mustangs with 2:25 left to go in that ball game. So you might see Coach Souza and the Mustangs here in a couple of weekends. Robinson's step back triple, no good. Engel goes and gets the rebound. Haven't shot many threes because they haven't needed to shoot many threes, and then De La Cruz gets fouled. And the Thunderbird foul, as we get our media timeout, is going to be on Jimmy James, number 2. First media timeout of the second half, and the Thunderbirds have outscored Central 10-7 after they led at the half. 57-41, Thunderbirds by 16, 14 left on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard.
At Fremont Chevy in Riverton, being in the community isn't just how we do business, it's our way of life. We think of our team, our customers, and our local community as one big family. For us, being community partners is more than just a source of great pride. It gives us a deep sense of responsibility. We are excited to bring you the scoreboard for Rustler Athletics on Rustler Media. See Fremont Chevy online and at North Federal Boulevard in Riverton.
County10.com supports this Rustler radio broadcast. At County 10, their mission is to connect the communities that make up Fremont County. Whether you're looking for updated community news, the local events calendar, up-to-date job listings, the details about new businesses in town, the Student of the Week spotlight, or just want to watch local athletic events, County10.com is working to keep Fremont County communities connected.
13:57 remains on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Thunderbirds 57, Rustlers 41. Long pass to Engel, back out top, Tay Hollins. Roberts gives it to Beeman. Now Dugam Moroboto is into the game. Besides Roberts, as Engel throws it away. Roberts was leaning in on the pressure, and because of where that ball was thrown, he just couldn't adapt his body to go back out to go get it.
Yeah, it's hard when you've got that one lean. The pass might even be close, and you still can't get to it.
Momentum and body language going the other way. James will bring it across the timeline. It's a pretty athletic 6'6" point guard you got going on out there when you have people like Robinson and Bashir.
It's pretty athletic at every position.
Bashir, three-point opportunity from the free throw line as he misses the shot, but Dugam Moroboto called for the foul.
Well, you can sure see if this team is on how they could beat a Gillette College team, because they remind me of Gillette College, in
fact. But, that was a game, well, I guess Gillette was held to 79 points in that, so defensively they've been playing very well.
But don't they remind you of them?
Bashir is 75% free throw shooter.
Still relax.
Hits the first, and you hear the official tell everybody's got two more. Bashir has 11. Now 12. And one more. He has pushed it to the largest lead of the night of 18.
Yeah, we're in the suburbs of a 20-point lead.
This game didn't get started till about 5 o'clock due to the rerouting of the officials due to a closure on I-80. Central will...
Well, that's just kind of a dangerous excursion across the midcourt line.
They'll battle and bobble, but break the timeline. Engel. And you think if Coach Schmidt's got 4 starters on the bench right now, if he's kind of just like gearing up for a final run up the hill as Tay Hollins gets a big three-pointer to help in that battle.
Somebody's got to help Roberts with the offense out there with the lineup they got. I see Marbury getting ready to check in here at the next whistle.
Bashir guarded by Tay Hollins. Bounces it to EJ. Back out to Bashir. Bashir, 10 on the shot clock, takes it to the rack and misses the lay-in.
Yeah, did everything right but finished.
6 rebounds for Julian Roberts. Hollins to Juice. Does not shoot the three. He does have that range and the green light to do so, but doesn't shoot it there. Sal running through the lane, loses it. They'll say it stays as Marbury and De La Cruz re-enter. Quan and Rebetez back in for the Thunderbirds. And again, in case he missed it earlier, just give a shout out to Jack Noakes, who does the play-by-play for the Thunderbirds at home games. Former PA announcer at War Memorial Stadium. Good friend of...
Wow, for many years.
Good friend of ours.
Well, let's not say that, but...
Good friend of one of us. De La Cruz. Roberts, 15-foot left side, will roll out. And it comes away to Peters. Taking the distance underneath and a flush.
That's interesting. It was a bounce pass to the big guy, though, and it does work.
And he goes flat-footed to go put it up with 2 hands. Hollins wide open left side. That's good. And a quick timeout by Brad Schmidt on a second triple by Tay Hollins. It's a 15-point game with under 12 minutes left to play in the contest. And a lot of times, I would say at the 12-minute mark right here, there's a lot of time left in this basketball game, but that doesn't feel like it right now for the way Central and Casper have played today.
And where are the stops coming from?
With the way Casper has just kind of taken in control of the Rustlers, it just doesn't feel like 12 minutes is a long time right now. Northwest has defeated Western 83-75. Western Wyoming dropping another one. So looking at that right there, it'll put Northwest at 4-7. Western drops to 3-7, and it puts Western in the number 6 seed that will have to go play the number 2 seed. We get a foul in the backcourt.
Yeah, on Warren.
Jaden getting his first personal foul.
He plays pretty physical defense. This is his first personal foul.
It's been a physical game that they have put on here today between these two teams. James back out. Rebetez now. Robinson.
Looks like they're trying to use clock. That's not really their game.
No, it's not their offense. Quan, 8 to shoot. Guy you want to shoot it. Missed it. And the rebound comes to De La Cruz. Back out top, Warren now. Roberts for a triple. Left it well short.
He's come short his last couple of shots.
Nobody home.
Well, that's a great pass at that distance.
Nobody home to rebound, and the Thunderbirds will take it the distance the other way and be fouled at the rack.
That pass had to just be right there because there are a couple Rustlers back.
Getting up slowly is Kuhn Quan. And it will send Quan to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Relax, catch your breath. We got two.
Casper averages 90 a game. They are 70.1 from the free throw line. Free throw is no good by Quan. 11:03 left. Quan going back to the line. Missed one a minute ago. Second one is good. It's 1 of 2. Full court pressure again by the Thunderbirds. We're under 11 to play. De La Cruz still dribbling. Back to Roberts. Fakes a pick one way. Backs in on EJ. Spins baseline and got it.
It's his first bucket in a while.
13 for Roberts. Under the 10:30 mark. James bodying in on Jaden Warren. Got that pushed back out. Rebetez three-pointer missed it. Marbury nearing double digits in the rebounding category with 9. Solomon skates into the front court. Kind of a slippery floor today, because I'm not sure De La Cruz was going to go for a jam. EJ was being sealed off by Roberts. He came off of that seal, and it would have been an awesome jam possibly to see, and I know he can do it even though he's listed at 5'10", but you need a basket more than you need anything right now.
This was going to be contested either way by the big guy.
Right. De La Cruz will go to the line and make the first free throw. 8 for De La Cruz. 13-point game.
Exactly the same as the lead was at halftime.
EJ continues to converse with the official as De La Cruz gets both. 9 points for Lawrence. 12-point game. 10 minutes left. De La Cruz with a foul from behind on a reach on Quan. And the foul on De La Cruz. And a central foul underneath.
Pick up a second in a hurry.
Yeah, and he's going to get his second quickly, third of the game. Central now at 6 team fouls, so Casper will shoot on any foul on Central the remaining 9:43 of the contest.
De La Cruz not in a good matchup there either.
Rebetez partially blocked out of there by Marbury, but he got his own ball. And then a block and foul as driving in was James, and it might be 4 on Roberts. They go on Marbury instead.
Wow, that's kind of surprising from what I can see.
So good news situation there. Kwan's going to go to the free throw line. He made 1 of 2 a minute ago. Kuhn has 5.
And now we're at that bonus, too, so.
Yeah, the shooting the remaining 9:31. 71% as a team, and that one rolls out.
I'm gonna go first. Go. No, there's nothing. Just push him out. Push him out.
Kwan back to the line. Kwan is an 84% free throw shooter, and he's made 50% of his shots from the line today. Makes the second. 13-point game. Solomon in the backcourt. Hands it back to Marbury. He'll beat the 10 count by 2. Throws it to De La Cruz. Back to Solomon. King. 7 points for him. 5 for Marbury today. De La Cruz spins, hangs for 8, and gets it to go with 4 seconds on the shot clock. He's got 11. Central as close as they've been in a while now, down by 11. We're under 9 minutes left to play. Central with 2 timeouts, but they will get the media timeout. Long triple, shot no good, and a great box out by De La Cruz. Says, I think you let Kwan shoot those threes.
And not attacking the basket as they did earlier, which helped him get this big lead.
Solomon from behind, misses, but the rebound and a put back by Julian Roberts, and the Rustlers have got it to within single digits. Largest lead was 19, and they're back within 9. Kwan.
So I think slowing down the process has not helped Casper College.
Well, yeah, it's not what got him to the 19-point lead as James stripped by Marbury, picking it up and jamming it as EJ.
Yeah, and the way Roberts was turned around, they're lucky he doesn't pick up a 5th foul.
Wide open, Solomon. Much needed, they got it. 10 points for Solomon, and it's an 8-point game. Now I would say there's a lot of time left in this basketball game with 7:40 left in an 8-point game. Central coming up off the deck have cut into the 19-point Thunderbird advantage. Trying to get this crowd back into it that was electric when they had taken a 14-5 lead. Kwan, another 3. It's going to drop. Used every part of the iron and goes down. Timeout called by Coach Parks. Full timeout with 7:19 remaining in a 11-point Casper advantage, 69-58. We'll return after this timeout to Rustler Gym on 88.1.
Rustler Radio is supported by Altitude Interiors by Gales and Lander. Altitude Interiors offers a wide range of flooring options, including carpet, laminates, luxury vinyl plank, and more. Additionally, they provide walk-in showers and custom rug binding services to match your specific size and material preferences. Installation services are available, and financing options can be discussed. Learn more about Altitude Interiors by visiting altitudeinteriors.net.
Rustler Radio is sponsored in part by the Wind River Hotel and Casino. The Buffalo Coffee Shop proudly serves Starbucks. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., serving Starbucks coffee and beverages. The casino also has pastry items baked in-house by the casino's very own baker. The Buffalo Coffee Shop open daily from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. More information can be found at windriverhotelcasino.com.
Kwan is a 30% three-point shooter, and he made one of his last 2, that one hitting every part of the iron that it could before dropping in. 7:19 remaining in the contest, and that was not the media timeout, which we may get in 17 more seconds in an 11-point Casper advantage. Central has gotten within 8. You expend a lot of energy. King gets left wide open, and he knocks it down. I'm not sure what Robinson was thinking, leaving him alone after he caught the pass. He's thought about it. He's like, oh, heck, I got to go get this guy. And then King drops it in. driving Sasser. Back outside, Robinson goes baseline. Good defense by Central. Bashir, 17, falls in as it rattled around, came out and goes back down. And ball stopped right there. Bashir has 15, Robinson has 15. The pair average 18 apiece. They're right on course for that. I think they're giving a delay of game warning to the Thunderbirds on Bashir. Coach Parks talking to the official. And I think we should get the media timeout, and we do. I wondered if because it wasn't an actual stop and play that maybe you shouldn't have stopped play that they would, but they will. 6:37 left on the media timeout. Thunderbirds 71, Rustlers 61, heading down the stretch for an exciting finish in the final 6:37.
Bailey Enterprises is a supporter of CWC athletic broadcasts. Bailey's operates Pit Stop Travel Centers, Bailey Tire and Auto Service, Bailey Oil Company, Speedway Cafe, Evergreen Wholesale, and Central Wyoming Transportation. All can be found online at BaileyTire.com. Stick around for Bailey's postgame show after the game.
Rustler Athletics helps foster academic achievement, leadership, community engagement, and pride. The Rustler Athletics mission is to help student athletes compete at the highest level in their chosen sport and help them build a foundation for a successful life after competition. A $100 donation to the Rustler 500 reverse raffle not only gets you a chance of winning part of $15,000, but also helps make a difference in the lives of CWC student athletes. The last ticket selected will win $10,000, but all money raised helps our athletes win. Check RustlerAthletics.com for details. And thanks for helping out, Rustler Nation.
6:37 left to play. 10-point Casper advantage. Casper had a 19-point lead at one point. Central has battled back with an 8 a couple of different times. De La Cruz Roberts won't shoot the three. Trying to post up Marbury with Rebetez on him defensively, and then they'll throw it away. Lob pass up ahead. That might have been a travel, but Robinson will collect and score.
Instead, it's 2 points for Casper College, which is unfortunate for CWC.
Yeah, down 12 now. Warren to Solomon. Robinson going to stick a little closer on him this time than he did last time. Steps back for three. Too much standing around for Central right here as Marbury's going to go underneath. Reverse layup is good. Nice play. Marbury has 7.
Boy, they are making him work, though.
Yes, they are making him battle for every basket he's got. He's got 7 points and 9 rebounds. Does Sam Marbury. Under 6 minutes left to go. 73-63. Thunderbirds the lead in the basketball. They'll give it give and go, and he's going to miss it. And he's hanging on the rim. Will they give the technical, or will they just call it basket interference? Hanging on the rim was Josh E.J. Now the referees are going to confer on exactly what you said, I think, on whether this should be a T or not.
I think the officials are sure.
Now they're going to go talk, and Coach Schmidt talking to the official about, hey, now the other official is going to confer. And this would be kind of an adrenaline shot that you might need if Central, and they will give a technical, and they will give Central free throws.
It took a long time to decide that, though, didn't it?
I do like the fact that they did confer amongst themselves to get the call, no matter which way it went. Even if they hadn't given the T, I'm glad that they did go and confer and come about a mutual decision and make this happen with King Solomon. Free throw, good. 9-point game, and Central will have the basketball. With 5:30 left to play, 3-possession ball game. Well, you wonder, you could hear Sam saying that's a T repeatedly, that if he didn't plant the seed in one of the officials' minds, like, oh, mate, you might be right, because you had set it up here as well. That
I thought it was. I do say one thing in his behalf of because you've missed a shot, you're out of kilter in a weird way.
And it was hanging, though, is kind of why he stayed up there instinctually, did E.J. Third personal foul underneath. Marbury's going to get fouled as Rebetez will get his first, if in fact it goes, and it does on Malik Rebetez. Just the 5th team foul on the Thunderbirds. Well, and the scoreboard even only says 4, so Solomon gets free, lets it fly, left it short, and it's batted back into the field of play by Roberts. And then to the floor, and it's going to be Central basketball. Diving on it is Jaden Warren. That'll be a turnover on the Thunderbirds. They're going to wipe some sweat up on the floor down there on the left side as Jaden Warren talking with the official walking out of there. He's like, hey, I got pile drived, but that's what loose balls are all about in conference games. It's diving on loose balls.
You typically just dive into a pile and nothing will be called.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying is that's the MO is you dive on that. We're under 5 left to play. Central down by 9. Roberts underneath. Lay it up and in. It's a 7-point game. Great dish, Sam Marbury.
That's the thing, too. If you're not shooting well, find other ways to help your team out, and he has done that.
He has done that and then some. 7-point game. Bashir to Revetez. 13 on the clock, and Casper, like you had pointed out, trying to take some air out of it. Revetez back up top. He traveled. Yeah, he's got away with that a couple of times. Not this time. Turnover number 9 on the Thunderbirds. And Central now with a chance to bring the house down and get a little bit closer than the 7 points. Jimma James back into the contest for Nate Sasser. Good crowd on hand here. Great crowd watching on CWC Rustlers on YouTube. Thanks to Amanda Nikoloff and the new media kids on their job here today. Andrew directing. Solomon thought about a 3. He'll take it, drive, and it's rejected as he had to alter that. EJ smashes it out of there. He is a shot blocker and a shot alterer for sure. Bashir throws it into the corner. Robinson penetrates, stop for 8, missed it off of the left side. Marbury the rebound. Still a 7-point game, 3:45 remaining in the contest. Marbury top of the key, triple, no good. Roberts thought he got pushed out of there by EJ, nothing called. EJ the rebound is 7th. Jimma James working on Warren, back out top to Bashir. Boy, Central has gotten 2 stops, but have not been able to get within more than 7 on 2 opportunities. Bashir over is an air ball, saving it, but into the hands of Central. And then Marbury has it stripped at midcourt. Jimma James fouled on the way. The referees are going to confer whether this should count or not. The bench says that it should.
In the NBA, no doubt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Intentional foul they will call on King Solomon. Ooh. And it's going to send James to the line, and they will get the basketball. So this could make it a 10-point game with Casper possession with 3:09 left.
I thought it was a hard foul. I did not see it intentional from my vantage point.
I'm going to correct myself. They didn't give him the basket. So it's not a 3-point opportunity. It's just an 8-point game now.
But they will get the ball. So
they will get the ball. So it could be 9 and the basketball for sure with 3:09 left. He gets the second. And it will be Thunderbird basketball out of bounds. 3:09 remaining in the ball game. 75-66 Casper on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Revetez kind of hooks underneath, and James' reverse lay-in is good. He's got 15 points. 4-point swing that time down the floor.
That possession could be huge in the end game.
Central down 11 now, needing a basket in a big way this time down the basketball court.
And after all that comeback, you've only gained 2 points on that halftime lead.
Fade away, Roberts is good. 19.
That was not easy.
That was a high degree of difficulty by Juice, and he knocks it in. Bashir across the timeline. 2.5 left to play. 9-point Casper advantage. Rustlers need a stop. Revetez, offensive foul. There's your stop.
The good thing,
Turnover number 11. Solomon takes it. Rebetez will get his second personal. And it will be Central basketball. Coach Parks not liking the call as he lobbies with the official on the far side. De La Cruz back across the timeline. Hands it off to Solomon. Gets a pick. Back to Juice. Big three on the way. Looks good. Was on line. Just does not drop in. And Bashir the rebound.
This will take it under 2 minutes on this possession.
77-68. Thunderbirds led by as much as 19. Robinson, big three-point basket for his 20th point of the ball game.
They weren't concerned with taking it under 2 minutes so much as it was a lot of time left on the shot clock.
Solomon back to Roberts, just inside the three line. Julian has 21 as he knocks it down, and a quick timeout called by Brad Schmidt. 1:41 remaining. It's a 10-point Casper advantage. Second place on the line for these two teams in Region 9 play. We'll come back after this timeout. Finish it out on Rustler Media.
Want to learn about geospatial applications of unmanned aerial vehicles? You know, a drone? CWC will host a 2-credit course on drones with a combination of outside fieldwork and indoor geospatial data analysis. The course meets on 3 Fridays and Saturdays in late May and early June at the Alpine Science Institute and the Lander Center. More is found at cwc.edu or contact the CWC Lander Center for your course on drones.
1:41 remaining. Casper 80, Central 70 out of the timeout by Brad Schmidt, which he will have 1 remaining. Casper has 3 left. Central has put Casper in the bonus. 1 more one-on-one, and then Casper still has 2 fouls to give to put Central in the bonus. There have only been 12 fouls whistled on Central the entire game. Only 11 fouls whistled on Casper the entire game, as it's been a physical game, but
they call them both ways.
Yeah, it's been on both sides. James to inbound. He'll lob it up. Rebetez gathers it in.
Interesting, he caught the bodies in front of the
I think players. Solomon was waiting for a trap. The other half of his trap didn't come the way he was guarding his man. 90 seconds left in the contest.
Well, kind of passive defensively when you're trailing by 10 with under a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, you might think he would foul early just to give them the one-on-one, and dribbling it out of bounds is James, and that'll be a turnover, and Central will get it. Took 13 seconds off the clock, however, and Central needing some points in a hurry. De La Cruz launches a triple, short, tipped by Warren, and then De La Cruz throws it away.
Hung himself in the air, and he had to do something. There was the pass that was taken. And this will be the last of the one-on-ones.
Yeah, we'll send Rebetez to the line to shoot 1 in the bonus.
One-on-one.
Rebetez 65% on the year as a free throw shooter.
Some of the fans starting to leave too, which is
Malik misses. Rebound Central. De La Cruz with the basket quickly.
Euro stepped it.
Marbury with 12 rebounds in the contest.
Well, I thought he might have stepped out of bounds.
James is going to be fouled by Jaden Warren, who went up and attacked him. James will go to the line. Jaden will kick his 3rd personal.
Surprised he didn't pass it, because you could have another dunk there.
Yeah, and they have been very good at passing today, has Thunderbirds. James with 15 to the line. He's a 66% free throw shooter. He will get 2 opportunities at this one, however.
You know, in the state of Colorado, teams are not allowed to use the nickname Thunderbirds anymore.
Free throw, no good.
So if Casper College moves to Colorado, they got troubles.
Cheyenne East is almost in Colorado, and gets to use it. Misses both. De La Cruz, Central again, needing points quickly, and Roberts will get a flush from De La Cruz. 23 for Juice. 45 seconds left, jump ball, but the Thunderbirds will get the arrow. Julian Roberts' career high is 26. against Dawson. He's got 23 now. And we'll see Jaden Peters check in for Jimma James.
They're going to add another guard in the lineup. Well, James, I guess, is listed as a guard.
Yeah, he plays their point position. Solomon has it thrown off of his body. They'll break the pressure. Off ahead. Dunk by EJ. Julian corner. De La Cruz triple on the way. Nearly wedged and a foul called. It's going to be on EJ, his fourth.
You know, CWC has had their opportunities, really, but
out of the 12 fouls in the game, EJ has 4 of them. Well, and maybe not, because now they only have him for 3 on the official scoreboard. So Robert said, I was shooting that, putting it back up. Referees say, nah. 29 seconds left. Roberts on the inbound. Barely drew iron and a foul called. And Rebetez not liking that one. So I think we're going to see Marbury
say cut under.
Marbury will get one in the bonus. 27 seconds left. It's an 8-point game. Coach Parks lobbying with the official. The coach says he's sweeping him out from underneath. The referee does anyway. Marbury 7 points, but he has 13 rebounds. Maybe a line violation, but he gets the free throw anyway as it bounces on every part of the rim and falls in. Roberts 23, Solomon 14, De La Cruz 13, Marbury now with 9. Full court pressure. Rebetez up ahead, 2-on-1. And a quick foul by Solomon. King committing his 3rd personal. And it will send Josh EJ to the line. He is a 64% free throw shooter. And he will get the first. $15 for EJ, 15 Bashir, 15 James, 20 Robinson. How about that for some balanced scoring? Yeah. Second one good. 27 points off the bench for the Thunderbirds, just 9 tonight for the Rustlers, and Marbury has it. They'll throw it away up ahead. And missing the dunk, out of bounds Central basketball. Darius Robinson missed the jam. And Central will get it back with just under 10 seconds left. And not enough time with 8 seconds. Solomon long triple, no good. EJ adding another rebound, and this ball game is over. The Thunderbirds have come to Central and beaten the Rustlers. In doing so, have solidified themselves as the number 2 seed in the Region 9, and with a chance at number 1, depending on what Central does with Gillette and what they do with other teams as well, because they have the split on the season with the Pronghorns. You got to beat them up there, though. You got to beat them up in Gillette, and that's not going to be easy. Well, they lost at Gillette already. It's they've split with Gillette, have the Thunderbirds. But I mean, for Gillette to lose, I mean, just stumble the rest of the way. Somebody's got to take care of them up there, and that's a more difficult task for sure. Final score in this one, 84-76, Casper the win. Central bolted out and had this place rocking at 14-5 early. 23-2 it goes Casper after that. And it put things in a completely different perspective. The Thunderbirds jumped out then to a 19-point lead at one point in the second half. And Casper hangs on as Central got it to within 7 a couple of different times. Had 2 possessions, in fact, down by 7, but couldn't get any closer. And Casper wins it 84-76, the final score from Central Wyoming College. Great crowd on hand we see filing out. Now, that was kind of fun to see this good a crowd, to see 2 quality teams like this. Final home game of the regular season for the Rustlers. They'll await their fate. They will get a play-in game because they are not going to finish lower than 3rd, so they will get a home play-in game. And they're not going to finish higher than 3rd either, for that matter. And they won't finish higher than 3rd, for sure is right. But they will have a home playoff game not next week, but the following weekend. We'll await to see who and when and where that game will be. We know where. It's going to be right here in this gym. Thanks for watching on Rustlers, CWC Rustlers on YouTube. Thanks to Amanda Nikoloff and our crew. It is the Bailey Enterprises postgame show next on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. It was Casper 84, Central 76. The Thunderbirds sweeping the Rustlers today, winning the women's game by a count of 81-62. Your postgame brought to you by Bailey Enterprises next on 88.1.
This broadcast comes to you in part by Fremont Therapy. They offer physical, occupational, and sports therapy in Lander, Riverton, Rollins, and Green River, Wyoming. They are the scoreboard sponsor for tonight's game and can be found online at FremontTherapyGroup.com.
A Big Win sponsor of the Rustler Athletic Booster Club is Health Source Chiropractic of Riverton, restoring health through the relentless pursuit of exceptional care. They offer chiropractic care and exercise therapy for everyone. Services include spinal decompression for degenerative or bulging discs without surgery and custom orthotics. They also have health products and nutritional supplements. See them at 910 North 8th West in Riverton or online at healthsourcechiro.com/Riverton.
If you want the latest road conditions while traveling without having to stop to view your smartphone, the Wyoming Department of Transportation has an app for that. Download WYDOT's 511 app for Android and iOS smartphones and use the hands-free, eyes-free feature to safely get the latest road conditions and traffic alerts. Driving in winter conditions can be challenging. Be prepared by using the 511 app to get vital information read to you while you concentrate on driving. Download it today at wyoroad.info.
Bailey Enterprises is a supporter of CWC Athletic Broadcasts. Bailey's operates Pit Stop Travel Centers, Bailey Tire and Auto Service, Bailey Oil Company, Speedway Cafe, Evergreen Wholesale, and Central Wyoming Transportation. All can be found online at BaileyTire.com. Stick around for Bailey's postgame show after the game.
Thanks to Bailey Tire and Auto and Bailey Enterprises, our postgame sponsor. Final scores tonight, the CWC ladies are defeated 81-62. CWC men fall 84-76, and we thought maybe we would see this in the 90s. 84-76, a little more than the last time, but
very close.
Just a wild game as far as the ebbs and flows. Central had a 14-5 lead at one point. They were rocking, they were rolling. The gym was electric, and then the Thunderbirds gathered in, regrouped,
so
went on
23-3. Was that what it was?
23-2 spurt in that. Well, actually 3. You're right, because it was a three-pointer by Solomon in the middle of all that. I think. Actually, no, it was a 2. Then his 3 helped kind of break the funk a little bit, but 23-2 nonetheless by the Thunderbirds. They led by 19 at one time in the second half. Central got it to within 7 a couple of times down the stretch and had the ball, in fact, a couple of times with a 7-point deficit. Could not get any closer, and the Thunderbirds win it. Pretty even scoring that we talked about for the Thunderbirds. Darius Robinson with 20, 16 Josh E.J. He had 8 rebounds. Robinson with 6 boards, 15 points apiece for Abdul Bashir and Jimmy James in the ball game. Central ended up out-rebounding the Thunderbirds 40-34 unofficially by my tally. Keeping track of everything that I do and trying to call a game and everything else. But leading scorer Darius Robinson had 20. Game high, though, goes to Julian Roberts. He had 23, 3 shy of his career high at Central for Juice. He had 2 big threes early on in the ball game as well, as he ends up with 23 tonight. King Solomon 14, Lawrence De La Cruz had 13, 9 for Sam Marbury, 8 for Jaden Warren, 6 for Tay Hollins, and that's where your scoring came from. 13 rebounds, Sam Marbury, 7 rebounds, Julian Roberts, 6 rebounds, Lawrence De La Cruz.
Kind of a weird schedule when you think about it. We opened Region 9 playing Casper College, and that's our next to last game as well.
Central would hit 8 of 23 in the first half threes. They go 4 of 11 in the second. Actually shot a better percentage in the second half than they did the first half, but just didn't make as many. Casper 5 of 11 first half, 2 of 7 in the second half. So their three-point shooting went away in the second half, but they just did so well around the basket, scoring all, the shot chart has got to be peppered down around that restricted
and
area.
Interior passing very, very well done.
Casper ends up shooting 53% from the fields, 33 of 62. Central shot 42%, 28 of 66. Central hits 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Casper hits 11 of 17, missing a couple down the stretch, but turns out not to be too detrimental. But they did miss some down the stretch that might open the door late. So a couple things that we do know, and that is that Western Nebraska will host the Region 9 men's tournament in a few weeks after they knocked off the Trinidad State Trojans and get a forfeit and play at home. We do know that. We do know that Central will finish third in the Region 9 now, and we know that Northwest beat Western tonight 83-75, so the opponent yet is to be determined. This is the Bailey Enterprises postgame show, talking with one of the sophomores recognized tonight, Lucas Engel, and this was a wild game. You guys have it rocking and rolling, up 14-5, and then 23-2. Here come the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, it's always hard because, they're a good team. They're a three-pointing team. And when teams shoot a lot of threes, it can swing drastically both ways.
But they made so many from inside 6 and 8 feet. You guys definitely had great defense. It just seemed like better offense at points for them, too.
Yeah, they're not even three-point shooters. They're just shooters in general. They can hit middies, pull-ups, all of the above.
Do they remind you of Gillette in a way?
They do, just a little less athletic at every position, but yeah, they definitely do. Just have players at every position, yeah.
What's the talk as you guys are coming down? It gets to 7 points a couple of different times, have possession twice, down 7, just doesn't happen. What's the energy was coming back, the mood? And what is it like as a player? We always talk about it as a broadcaster, but it takes so much energy to get back into a ball game that once you get it to a certain point, it's just like pushing that rock up the hill slows down.
Yeah, it's hard to come back. You can't make any mistakes because if you do, they are monumental, and the team that's up can make a few mistakes here and there, but when you're down, you can't make any mistakes.
They're a team that comes in waves at you, too, is what they do.
Definitely.
Reflect on your 2 years at Central Wyoming. I know that when you kind of first started last year, it was like, do I really want to do this? And now you bought in, you moved into the dorms this year, and here you are. And talk about your 2 years coming from Riverton High School, playing for the hometown college as a college athlete.
It's definitely been a journey. I can't say it's been an easy journey, but it's definitely been a journey, and I've loved all of it. It's taught me a lot. This entire team has taught me a lot, just about life, about sports, about everything. I appreciate Brad for giving me the opportunity to play for him, for taking a chance on me, because I wasn't a basketball player. I was a football player, but he still took a chance on me.
I think you've been very well as a basketball player, and having to watch your career for years, especially with this cat behind you that you played with right here. But future plans, play on, see what happens. What's going to happen next?
I have no clue, but I'm open to seeing where it goes.
You're going to be successful in whatever you do, Lucas, and it's been a pleasure watching you guys. Good luck Thursday, and get one more home game. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Lucas Engel talking to us on our post-game show, and we'll get a quick disinfecting of the headphones and then pass them off to Juice. Julian Roberts tonight, 23 points. I had you unofficially at 7 rebounds, 3 shy of your career high. And just looking at your reaction to that in the body language is you'd give it all up to have a W on the other side of the equation.
Well, of course.
Absolutely. Talk about this one. This one, I've got to beat it to death here in the postgame, but you guys are up 14-5. This place is electric, and then all of a sudden it's 23-2 Casper. What happened?
The game was really fast-paced tonight. I don't think...
faster than we'd like?
Yeah, okay. Definitely. I think that helped them out a lot, especially, we're not the only ones feeling the energy. They are too.
Right.
So, kind of ran away from us. But, that's the 4th game in a row that we've been down double digits.
And battled back to within 7 a couple of different times with the ball twice at 7 points as well.
I think they play non-position basketball. That's a hard matchup, too. And I thought, too, when you got in foul trouble, you really couldn't defend as you would have liked, I think. I think that came to focus.
Yeah, I think, teams like Casper, and then I think Gillette does this very well, too. It's very good in transition, fast breaks. And, just too many turnovers. We kind of needed to settle into the game there, but we weren't able to do that.
Yeah, we're kind of talking like, well, it's been a good season, and, but you guys have more basketball to play. You got to go check on the front runners, which, I think you guys can take care of that if you play well. You have a chance up there. Then you have a home play-in game as well. There's no easy outs at this point right now, though, but still time to play on. Got to pick up the bootstraps and get back after it.
Yeah, need a nice week of practice this week and on to the next one.
Is there a positive from a game like this, a learning thing? Is there something positive in this at all?
We rebounded very well tonight. In our first game, I know we won, but we got out-rebounded by 20.
Right.
And, we won the rebounding tonight. Another thing is, they shot very well. We didn't, and it was still a very close game until the end. So,
Coach talked about it in the sophomore recognition. He's like, he got to see you evolve into the player you are. Talk about your 2 years at Central.
It's been very nice. There's nothing to do here except for get in the gym. So I think that kind of helps out.
This message brought to you by the Riverton Chamber of Commerce. But no, and it is. But, at the same time, it keeps you out of trouble. You guys are in the gym a lot. And future plans, we playing on?
Of course. That's all I want to do. Just,
getting some looks, getting some offers, getting some discussions.
Yeah, I'm talking to a few schools right now.
You'll probably switch positions. You'll probably move to a 4, and you've got that capability, certainly.
Hey, I'll shoot threes all day. I don't mind.
Julian, shout-outs to anybody?
My mom and sister are here.
Cool.
Of course, my girlfriend, Emily, my dad at home, and my grandparents.
All right. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
You bet. Julian Roberts of the CWC men's basketball team. 23 points, 7 rebounds, and the poor kid just sounds exhausted after this game.
Remember how exhausted they looked when they walked in at halftime?
Exactly.
I mean, they looked gassed.
Yeah, he just sounded exhausted in this one here tonight. Congratulations to Tom Parks and the Thunderbirds, Dwight Gennari and the Lady Thunderbirds. They win both tonight, 81-62 in the women's game, 84-76 in the men's game. We've still got more basketball. The men and women will be on the road Thursday, taking on the Gillette Pronghorns in the Pronghorn Palace at Ladke Arena. And then the Rustler men will be back home possibly the following Friday night for a play-in game. Brad, if he has his choice, would like to play that on a Friday night here for a play-in game. But we'll talk more about that on the Rustler Minute and on Rustler Radio and RustlerAthletics.com for sure as well. But
we came away with 2 losses tonight, but those were 2 very, very good teams that we played.
Casper will finish no lower than 2nd. Central will finish 3rd. Casper will need some help trying to get a battle for that number 1 seed, but it will be at Western Nebraska. We already know that. The South will host the men's team as well. Big thanks to Amanda Nikoloff for the new media kids. Andrew Belongo is our director, and Julian Delgadillo and Noah Marshall are out shooting free throws right now, getting their court time in. They were our camera operators. Now they're shooting free throws on the other end of the court. Francis Obakoya, our engineer. Joel Kindle, thank you so much for what you do and helping me out. And
we got another one.
I'll pay you double what I paid you this season, which Joel does this on a volunteer basis, and I greatly appreciate him. And we've been together a long time and probably wishing we'll both retire, but you got to stick around with us for more as well. This has been a presentation of Rustler Media. For Joel Kindle, I'm John Gabrielson, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for the play-in game. Check out more at RustlerAthletics.com.
That concludes the Bailey Enterprise.